Rob Thompson, Rudy J. R&R in the morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Congratulations, you made it. It's Tuesday, 7 a.m. He's Rudy J. I'm Rob Thompson. Karl Schoenig driving the bus till 10 o'clock. Well, the Spurs, they didn't quite get 4.
Yeah.
But I would give them an A for effort.
No, I mean, that could have got ugly. Well, it was ugly for a minute, and it could have really got out of hand one of those games. You know, if you're Oklahoma City Thunder, you could end up losing by 73. But they're not the Oklahoma City Thunder. Why you look at me like that, Karl? I said, of course they're not going to lose by 73.
It's a bit extreme to bring it up.
It's I like 2-1 on this 3-game road trip because most of us we were all thinking 1 and 2. 1 and 2 was good. Like, hey, they beat Portland.
Shoot,
it's all good.
I was already happy with the first game.
So the fact that they went 2-1, that was a great road trip.
It is a pleasure to watch, at least in my mind, Doug McDermott come off high pick and rolls, high picks. The curls come off with a curl and a fadeaway jumper. That is a glorious thing to watch. It's been a long time since we had a Spurs team with a guy that could do that.
Yeah, you're a purist. Who was the last guy that could come off screens off the tight curl?
Probably Davis. That to kind of look like McDermott looked like last night. Probably Davis.
Yeah, Davis was the closest, but Davis didn't have that. Davis was a baseline curl guy. McDermott, we do high corners. I mean, it's just old school down screen basketball that I just love watching that we just haven't seen with the Spurs. And it provides that activity provides so many other attack lanes that it is, you can see the future. Yeah. You can see it. It was a game that, like you said, could have gotten ugly.
Yeah. They called plays for Dougie.
Yes. He has a purpose in life. Yeah. He's the shootist.
Yeah, down 16 to come back and tie it.
Yes, respect.
Definitely.
They are winning. And the funny thing is, remember what we felt like when we saw game 1 of the Spurs, that rowdy bench.
Oh,
the activity led to productivity.
Orlando, yeah.
I mean, it was just a rolling kind of thing. When you see that kind of comeback against Phoenix, you can feel that bench again. And when we were so excited in week 1, what we saw the potential that maybe the energy would overcome some of the physical obstacles, let's say, that the Spurs have to deal with. And kind of felt that in the fourth. Kind of felt a little bit of a team that believed in themselves and a little bit of momentum there. And, we just got beat by a savvy old vet and Chris Paul.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to do?
That
tough shot, the late shot, the fadeaway at the elbow, he makes that 1-2 times out of 10, man. That was a one-handed fling shot. He was just feeling it last night.
He's a master of mid-range.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of the few guys left, along with DeMar DeRozan, that have mastered their mid-range game. But one thing that's become a topic on this show, Rob, is our StreamYard names. And you were with dresses in the dark. What happened?
I thought when we put on our StreamYard, you put your camera on and you kind of look at yourself.
Make sure you.
When I saw myself for the first time, I have a shirt on that I didn't think I had on. I thought I had on a red polo shirt, and I turned on the StreamYard, and it's not the shirt that I believed I'd put over my head. And it's not like I looked in the mirror before I left the house.
In your mind, but I mean,
I didn't pay any attention to this.
At 3:45, ask Karl. Karl doesn't even with the headlines. Karl's like, I sent that. At 3:45, nobody's brain is really functioning properly. So yeah, in your mind, it was red.
I set clothes out though.
I do too.
I set it out.
Clothes out.
If they need to be ironed, I iron. That's what it's kind of a nightly ritual.
I iron at night as well.
But I didn't set out a shirt. I don't. Okay. It's early. I have a thing about my neck. So I never am in public without a collar.
Oh, okay.
I think my neck's too long. So I think if I wear like a sweatshirt, I don't know. It's just something I picked up when I was 12 and I haven't been able to get over it.
Yeah.
So I always have a collar on. You'll notice that I always wear a collar. And so I put on this sweater. My wife was like, it's going to warm up. tomorrow. So you might not want to be, as I was ironing, my
Also,
wife walked
just
by.
in
She goes, you
case.
might be dressing a little bit too warm. So maybe you don't need another shirt.
Right.
So I was like, I'm down. So this morning I got up and got dressed and I put on the sweater, which by the way, much respect to the Miller Lite guys.
Look at
it's
that.
my ugly sweater. If you for
That is
our
fire.
early birds, it's Tis Miller time is my ugly sweater.
That
And
is
it's got
fire.
beer cans all on the sleeves. It's pretty cool.
That is fire.
And if you'd have come out to R&J Saloon the other night, last Thursday night, you might too have a shirt like this. You had to win them.
You had to win one. That is fire.
I was excited to wear this thing, but then I looked in the StreamYard and I'm not wearing the shirt that I thought, because I got up and I put on the sweater and I saw my big old long giraffe neck and I thought I need a collar. So I just reached into the shirt and then I looked in there. And
so you have a neck phobia? Is there a word for that?
I don't know what it is, but I'm
so
about
you've been this
6'3"
way.
3.5.
Yeah, you about 6.
There's about 4 inches of neck there. So,
well, I make up for it because I got about 1.
I'd rather have that. I'd rather have the inability to of wearing a turtleneck than have a turtleneck and not be able to fold it down.
Oh. Have you ever tried to wear a turtleneck?
I wear turtlenecks a lot.
I like turtlenecks
because I have this long neck that gets cold. It's a lot of exposed area there. The other thing, you get old and all this neck.
And the beard is fully back.
Yeah, the beard's back.
Ted Lasso.
Took 1 month. Took a month.
It's back.
Yeah. The older you get, hair just starts coming in all kinds of places.
Wherever. As long as it does, like, I never understood the ear. I never understood the ear.
And we're in this, so let's go.
Yeah, I never got hair. How does hair come out of the ear?
I don't know, but that's why you go to a barber. You go to a barber
and
for just those guys, like an old school legit barber.
Okay.
Knows for his regulars. You got to check the nose. You got to check the ears. Got to check the eyebrows. You got to help us out now, barbers. I mean, we're not going to. I'm wearing a shirt I didn't even know I had on. So I need professional help here. Me. So let's go one step further.
Okay, let's go.
I was watching the games last night, and over the last couple of weeks, I've noticed a commercial, and it's about one of those little tiny razors. One of those little pube razors that they try to tell you they try to tell you it's for your face.
Yeah.
But it's
it's
everybody knows what it's for.
But it's a Manscaped.
It's not Manscaped, but it's one of those like Brett Favre German steel kind of knockoff cheap razors that you can get on, as seen on TV kind of stuff. But this one, they've taken a new tack. It's all about the groom. And they were like, if you don't have this razor, you didn't have a good groom. You just had an average groom.
Really?
I was like, what's a groom? I don't have a groom.
What is a groom?
Well, evidently it is the process of preparing yourself for the day, like the shaving and they encapsulated it in one term and they called it the groom. And if you don't have this, you didn't have a good groom.
See, I only do a good. Okay, now I know where you're going, and I only do a solid groom if it's like I got to do something with my wife. It's an event, like. I'll get
what is it? What is the totality of your groom?
If I'm doing a good groom, I'm turning on the music. I'm laying out a couple of outfits. Ironing.
Oh, we're doing okay.
Yeah, I'm trying it on.
We're doing the 25 in the club.
You got the lotion. You got the whole.
I got you. That's a groom.
That's a groom. That when you really like you. I'm got my smell goods. I've got my beard balm. I'm checking. I'm on point.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? A thorough shower with the music blasting. A solid groom.
Shower beer?
Shower beer? I've never had I don't drink. I'm a drinker, but I don't need a drink in the shower. Like I can wait. Because I take military showers anyways, unless I'm doing a good groom. But I take, what's your average shower? I'm like, I'm 5 tops.
5 minutes?
Tops.
Maybe I'm busy. I don't take my time. It's not like I'm lounging around in there.
5 minutes tops.
I would say I think my shower's probably a little longer than that, but not much. I used to shave in the shower, but now that I don't have
so you're part of the clogging process at your home.
Oh yeah. But see, I don't have. We only have my wife and I, and we never had other girls in other bathrooms, so it's not nearly as bad as what you've had to deal with. Yeah. So my wife has always had her own sinks and stuff like that.
His and hers. Karl, average shower. Karl, you come up to me as less than 5.
If I just worked out and I'm not going anywhere after, I'll take a nice shower and enjoy it. I don't know the actual time, but if it's
you kind of meditate, you're the guy that's
let's say it's a get up in the morning and you're every day. I gotta get everything clean and go. What's your shower?
I usually shower at night, but if I don't, I set a 2-minute 45-second timer, so I am not in the shower for longer than 3 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah.
Why the hell do you
impressive.
do that?
Because
What are you talking
Because
about?
I have to get here by 5:30.
So you have to set a shower alarm so you might waste too much time?
You know what it's like to
Do
wake
you
up
skip a
before
step?
5 a.m.
Well,
Your
I
brain's
do.
not
But
functioning. You can't
my
keep track of
shower
time. It's
routine-
arbitrary.
But my shower routine has unwavered for 40 years. It is literally, I do the same thing
Yeah, me
at the
too.
same
Right arm,
time
left
the
arm.
moment I step into the shower. And there is no, I can't shorten the process. I have streamlined this down to the bare minimum. So unless I'm skipping a step, it's probably like 7 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm telling you, it's down to the minute. I mean, think about it, how many times you've done this.
Yeah.
My shower time.
Wow, my showers are quick in and out. But to the timer,
So when was the last time you took a bath?
Oh God.
Alone.
God. No clue.
I don't fit in bathtubs.
That's,
Yeah.
that's Karl and
think-
I, we have the same problem. For the
Yeah.
longest time, I didn't have a bathtub that I could fit.
The
But
only time I get in the bathtub, like I said, it's never alone.
my
Never alone. My wife, like, if I'm drunk, she talks me into get in with me. And like that's it. And then it's like
problem is,
and then
man,
it's uncomfortable.
I
And
don't
then it's
like
like,
it.
yo,
you do that
I'm
once.
done with this.
I don't care how big your tub is either. It's just
Yeah.
it's okay for a little bit, but after
You
a
need
while,
a Scarface tub.
yeah, and
You
even
need the
that.
Scarface tub.
And then by that time, why am I inside anyway? Let's just go swimming. But that's a whole other line of that's other direction. I have a relative, a very close male relative who will bathe at every opportunity. Is a daily bather.
My wife takes one every night, a bath, but I don't get in the bathtub. My wife, like that's her, like y'all leave me alone.
That's a
I've
wife
been
with
cleaning.
kids. That's a wife that's got a little
Y'all
one
left
around.
your shoes out. Leave me alone.
She's bathing, but really it's more about the locked door.
Yeah, it ain't. She's not really even bathing. She's just in there like
she's
away
alone.
from us.
Yeah. That I remember those days.
Every night.
Oh,
Every night.
I remember
faithfully.
those days. That'll end.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It will.
She's been doing this a long time.
Because it will. And actually you'll miss it.
Like I used to like when you went upstairs
that time
for 30
when you disappeared
minutes.
for about 45 minutes.
I used to like
those
that.
were good times, hon.
You
Good
don't
times.
miss it. I feel you. Yeah, but I haven't gotten a bathtub in years, dude. Years.
If you had the time, would you? If every day you had an extra 45 minutes to get up and take a hot, soothing bath, would you? I always wondered if I would. I don't think I would.
No,
because I worked afternoons for the longest time. If I wanted to, I could have. But who the hell takes a bath at noon? That's just weird all the way around.
Now that's weird. The sunlight beaming in on you. No,
it's like in the daylight if you don't have any clothes on, you're naked. And at night, if you don't have any clothes on, you're nude. And you need to be nude to get into a bath.
Yeah, I don't want to see that, man. I'm
naked
good
in
with
a bath. You get naked, you get into a shower.
It's weird. My legs are up, and I'm short. Nah, I'm good on the bath.
That's the other thing about getting into a bathtub with somebody else, with your wife. I flood. There's too much water. I take up I have a fair amount of mass.
Yeah, and it just starts spilling over.
Yeah, so
like, no, I'm good on a bath. Navy showers.
So the Navy, when I went through Air Force basic training, we used to call them Navy showers.
Right.
What's up with you Navy guys? Why don't you guys take showers?
What is it?
We had to walk. We would walk into the shower room, and there'd be like the two showers on one wall, and we could never stop moving. We had to walk
like
in.
A car wash.
Yeah, we had to just keep walking, and you had to have gotten everything you needed to wash by the time you got to the third wall and walked out of the shower.
Yeah, I only got through boot camp, so 88 dudes trying to shower. You got to keep moving.
Yeah, so that's
you got
why
to get moving. Like you ain't got time to sit in there and meditate and think about life. You get in there, get the areas needed, and you keep it.
But
moving.
I was always curious why we called it a Navy shower.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I always thought because it was super quick, but I'm like, damn, Army,
here's the
Air Force, they don't take quick showers.
The USAA Army Navy game is coming up this weekend, and I, as an Air Force type, I'm going to be stuck in the middle of nothing but Army Navy talk. And there's a little bit. So I'm not totally down with the Air Force. It's not like Air Force or nothing, and I'm not like the Marines or not. But as an Air Force guy, I start wanting to put on like an Air Force cap or something when I'm around all these Navy and Army types.
But in the Air Force, like, don't the other military people, not us regular civilians, but don't other military people like make fun of y'all? Like, oh, y'all are the
smart ones, the geniuses, the ones that handle the real technology. Is that what they're saying behind our our comfortable
I've heard them
air-conditioned life. Is that what they're saying to
I've
us?
heard some pretty harsh things about the Air
Why don't you
Force.
guys go stack some boxes out in the middle of nowhere, huh? Why don't you go get on a boat and go float around the middle of the ocean? I'll be over on the Air Force, and if you call me after 5, I'll be over at the.
You be a hooping. You be a Warhawk hooping.
Who needs to be made fun of? No, yeah,
They
there's a
do.
lot of Air Force jokes.
Yeah,
when I'm out
y'all are
there,
the punching bag.
it's
kind of
like,
what's up with that? I guess if you're not a jet fighter, a fighter pilot, you're just like, dude, you do desk work.
some of us did.
I'm not making fun of you. I'm just telling you what I hear in the streets.
I happen to arm missiles.
Is that what your job was?
I was an EOD and I armed missiles and bombs.
Damn.
Yeah, these hands, these trembling fingers, disarmed bombs.
The life of Rob. You could, everything you've been through, you could qualify for the most interesting man. I mean, EA Sports, Riverboat, Air Force, radio, television.
Sounds like a guy who couldn't figure out what the hell he was doing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really
played ball at Texas Tech.
If you look at all the things that I failed at.
It's not failing. It's not failing.
No.
You got to shoot.
Yeah,
you got to shoot. You had a Kobe career. You take your shot.
Oh, I'll take my shot.
You take your shot, man. I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that. You got to shoot.
I learned a long time ago. You bounce.
Yeah, because everything we want out of life, a smart man told me, everything we want out of life is on the opposite side of fear. So if you want certain things in life, you got to go and take some chances with fear. You got to shoot, man. You got to figure it out.
Take a shot.
Take your shot, big
dog. Take a shot, man.
Rob Thompson, the most interesting man, Karl. I think we should start the position.
Just staggering from one catastrophe to another.
It'll be tomorrow's StreamYard name.
I know, right?
After a while, man, even a moderate success feels really good.
This one's pretty. You've done well in this area.
Oh,
really, really
I'd like
well.
to think so.
Really, really well.
It's all about who you surround yourself with, right?
Anyway.
Everything you need is on the other side of fear.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of the news. Most days I won't even turn it on.
Oh, I don't watch the news anymore.
So if you can withstand the headlines, if you're not afraid of what Karl wants to give you.
Yeah.
When we come back, let's look very closely at what we saw last night. I will call it an arse whooping.
Ooh. Yeah, it was. It was, especially in the trend. I think Karl hit it on the headlines. Like the Patriots dominated.
It was one of those games
in the trenches
that will break a season.
Yeah.
When you wake up this morning, Buffalo Bill fan, we'll look at Monday Night Football. What did we see? What do we know from this weekend's NFL season? Is it time to jump on that New England bandwagon? Is Brady and the Bucs or the juggernaut beginning? And where do the Cowboys and the Chiefs and the Rams fall into this? We'll look closely at the NFL. Don't forget the Spurs. They went down last night, but they're home again tonight. They get the Knicks. Kimbo watched just like we will.
He spoke on that. I want to talk about that.
Let's talk some NFL coming next. But first, your headlines. It's the 411 and the 210.
Here's the 411 in the 210. Headline 2.
Potential number 1 overall pick Kayvon Thibodeau to declare for the NFL draft and skip the Oregon Ducks bowl game. The star Oregon defensive end said Monday night he will forgo his senior season and declare for the draft. Thibodeau will not play in the Ducks bowl game, a matchup against number 16 Oklahoma here in the Valero Alamo Bowl on December 29th, and instead will begin preparations for the draft in which he could be selected number 1.
My coach doesn't even care about the bowl game. Right? He left to Miami. I'm looking out for me. It's a dog-eat-dog world in college sport. In semi-pro sports. It's no longer college sports. In semi-pro sports, it's a dog-eat-dog world. I'm going to get mine. Y'all gonna have to figure it out. I can see a lot. I mean, who's OU gonna have?
Exactly.
Who's OU gonna have? So, I mean, this trend, Jalen Smith scared a lot of people. When you tear your knee up and you miss out on a few, well, Jerry made it up. Jerry made up for it and paid him. But Jalen Smith was a mid-first round pick. So, scared a lot of guys. I'm not shocked that he's not playing in the bowl game. And Oregon's terrible.
It sucks.
It does suck.
But this is the world we created.
Yeah.
I mean, we did this. This is of our own doing.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks that we're not going to get to see him. But I wouldn't play either. I would tell my son not to play. I wouldn't. If you're a prospective number 1 overall pick, look how short your NFL career can be.
You know what? That would be a tough call for me. That would be a tough call because there's something about a bowl game.
There is.
You You can never get that back, no matter what kind of NFL career you have or don't have.
But keep in mind, these guys, like Thibodeau, has been aimed at this contract since he was 12. Probably not to the same extent that basketball types are, but legitimately for the last 8 years, 6 years, a third of this kid's life, it has been aimed at draft day in April. That everybody saw it, and everybody, that's all. It hadn't been, your life will end up in the Alamo Bowl. Your life will end up signing a multi-year, multi-million-dollar contract as the first-round draft pick if you'll put in these 10,000 hours of effort.
So
And for us to expect this guy to risk the 10,000 hours of effort with one more game, right? Literally, you're about to step over the finish line. You're about to have completed not just your goal, but everybody around you's goal. Your mom, your dad, your friends, your coaches, everybody has been helping you to get there. And for you to go, I think I'll play one more game. I understand it, and I wish everybody felt that way, but
So if you're a first-round pick and it's not the playoff, you totally get it.
Doing?
Yep.
Even if it's a playoff game, man. I'm telling you.
You would sit out the Final Four?
I'm not saying I would, but I understand it. Keep in mind, from people that you would not give up most, but you understand that this is a transient thing. This is, everybody who uses a ball tells everybody, don't let the ball use you. You use that ball.
Amen to that.
And your goal is to get paid and secure your family, as everybody's goal is health, safety and wellness and all that, just like everybody else. And would you tell a college junior, look, man, you've got this possible gig in coding or as an attorney, whatever it might be, that if you go work this thing, you will make $3 million guaranteed. It will happen. You will get this money guaranteed. But if you do this one thing, it might blind you or something might happen and you might not get it. Would you tell a college coder not to do it?
No, I wouldn't.
No. You would say, don't do that. Go do the other thing, get paid $3 million. Why would we expect anything different?
Man, when you put it like that, Rob, were you going to say something?
No, but that is a small majority of these athletes.
It's like less than 1%.
I'm talking about 3 guys on the team.
Yes.
Everybody else, get your ass ready for the bowl game.
Right.
But for these guys that legitimately have a chance to make the money, go make the money.
If you're a day 2 guy, you're going to go somewhere in the second round and on. You want to build your draft stock with as much tape as possible.
And play
if you're
in the
this
Senior
guy
Bowl and do all that,
if you're someone who's guaranteed top 5 pick and you're not playing for the playoffs, these bowl games have almost sort of become the beginning of next season because the real purpose is practices. If you talk to the University of Texas, they just wanted those extra practices. They could really care about which bowl game they went to.
Truth. So I understand if you don't.
Hell yeah.
It sucks because I'd like to have seen Thibodeau
especially coming east to San Antonio.
Yeah, it sucks. But there's, like you said, and it was perfect. My coach doesn't even care about this.
Yeah, he does.
So why should I?
Amen.
Moving on.
Headline 1.
LeBron James facing criticism of Los Angeles Lakers coach Frank Vogel. He says players need to do a better job. LeBron said he and his teammates have to play better when asking about the scrutiny of Frank Vogel, saying, quote, I think criticism comes with the job, James said after the practice on Monday. Frank is a strong-minded guy. He has a great coaching staff, and we as his players have to do a better job going out there and producing on the floor. We're a team, an organization, and don't mind the adversity. That don't mind people saying things about us, obviously, because it comes with the territory. LA is 12-12 and would be the 8th seed in the West if it started today.
Well, look, when Frank Vogel didn't have LeBron, it looked a little shaky, and he still had Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis. So the criticism of Vogel seems fair to me, but I respect LeBron for coming to his defense.
What do you want the guy to do? They didn't pay for Alex Caruso. It seems like
what do I want him to do?
LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Russell.
What do you mean?
Westbrook.
What do I want him to do, Karl?
Go win every freaking game.
Oh, maybe 5 years ago.
Would Pop be 12-12 with Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook?
Probably not, but that's not fair.
Well, first
Frank
of all,
Vogel.
I shouldn't compare him to Pop. I shouldn't compare him to Pop. That's like, you're right. But I expect a little bit of, look, he hit it on the head. Criticism comes with the job. And when you have 3 guys like that and you're 12-12, you're going to get hit over the head a little bit. Fair or not.
Yeah.
You're going to get some.
But, okay, let's, in the grandest of schemes.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Lakers going to win it this year?
I'm not counting the Lakers out.
You're not counting. No, that's not the question I ask you. Are they, as we sit today, the team that we're looking at, are they going to win it this year?
They'll be in the Final Four.
So no.
They'll make the Western Conference Finals.
So
I think so.
That's about where we. But winning it doesn't look like it's in the cards right now, does it?
With the way Phoenix and Golden State are playing, it looks gloom.
Right.
But I can't say they're going to win it all.
I think that this is the beginning.
Before the season, I said they were going to win it all.
So did I. I don't think they're going to win it all. I think that this is a team that's facing a lot.
You can't ask me this in December, Rob. That's not fair.
But I'm just saying, okay, where we sit today, I think it is right for Vogel to take some abuse.
Absolutely.
I think it is absolutely right for LeBron to take some abuse. I think
Anthony,
he's bored.
Russ, all of them.
You can't do this. This is 20 years of this. Mm-hmm. I think, and it's December. LeBron's bored. I mean, he's running around grabbing his nuts. I mean, come on, dude.
I know. I saw that. I was like, what the hell?
What are you doing, man?
What are you doing?
He's bored. So everybody just kind of right.
I saw that.
You're a 40-year-old man. You can't run around in front of people grabbing your nuts. What are you doing?
No, I was like, come on, Brian, you're better than that.
So I think he's like, man, I think once they light the switch, they'll be better. But as we sit today, the clock is ticking. The miles are coming off those tires.
Yeah.
So I think with every day, it's getting harder for them. But I just, judging by what I'm seeing and this team, yeah, they're not a unified, cohesive group by any stretch, and it's going to be a bit. But as we sit today, I would not say they're a championship winner. They're still a contender for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Moving along. But yeah, Vogel's
whatever.
He's
Vogel.
in a tough position.
Yeah, whatever, Vogel.
But yeah, whatever.
Take it. Take your hits.
Headline 0.
Rob, you asked me to keep you updated on all things Oklahoma transfers, and this one you're really going to love. As a 5-star defensive tackle, Gabe Brownlow-Dindy flips from Oklahoma to Texas A&M. That's right, the Fighting Texas Aggies flipped the 5-star defensive tackle from Oklahoma on Monday, giving the Aggies 3 5-star commits in total for the class.
Wow.
Brownlow-Dindy is the number 4 recruit overall and had been committed to the Sooners since October 12th. He stayed committed when news broke about Lincoln Riley leaving for the head coaching position at USC, but rumors swirled that he was looking around. The 5th decommit for Oklahoma since Riley left, along with ESPN 300 linebacker Kobe McKenzie, defensive lineman Derek Moore, running back Raleigh Brown, and offensive lineman Demetrius Hunter. Conversely, this is the 6th commitment for the Fighting Aggies they have had since the start of November, as Jimbo Fisher and his staff make a push for the number 1 class in an early signing period only 9 days away. The staff got the commitment from the number 1 overall player, defensive tackle Walter Nolan, on November 6th, as well as commits from 5-star wideout Evan Stewart, wide receiver Chris Marshall, running back Le'Veon Moss, and offensive lineman Mark Nobu. I'm going to go with that one. And now Brownlow-Dindy.
I'll let you have this one, Rob.
Number 1 class in the country, and that looks like there's another 5-star that might head this direction too. But they've Jimbo's put together a class that's absolutely appropriate. And I will, Texas fan, notice how excited we are about defensive linemen. Notice how excited Aggie fan is about defensive linemen. When was the last time Texas fan was excited about a lineman?
Because they don't play in the SEC. When you play in the SEC, if you don't have trenches and you don't have depth in the trenches, you will not survive.
You build a team
will not survive.
From the line inside out. That's how you build a football team. And it is a tough time to get skinny on the bench, OU. It is looking, I don't know who you're going to hire, how Venables is going to go and get guys, but the cupboard looks bare as you come into the Bears den of the SEC West.
With every decommit, I'm starting to see more why Sooner fan was so mad. At first, I was like, "Hey, man, calm down." But then it's like, "Oh, he's leaving. He's leaving. He's transferring." I'm like, "Oh, this is why y'all were so upset." My goodness.
I love standing over the dead carcass of the Sooners. I just love watching the crows pick the meat off between the ribs. They've been feasting.
That's so brutal.
Oh man, most of that talent that's coming back or leaving out of Texas anyway.
True, that's very true.
Texas is hot.
Come on home. Come on home, fellas.
I did look it up. Gabe Brownlow-Dindy is from Lakeland, Florida.
No, he's from
Yeah,
Florida.
just so people know, I meant to mention that.
He is
All good. Good job on the pronouncing of that name.
Brownlow?
No,
Brownlow Dindy?
Yeah.
Nobu was the one that threw me
Nobu,
off.
yeah.
I thought about that because y'all went to Nobu, and it's spelled Nabou. So I just guessed. I haven't actually heard it. But,
It's all
hey,
good, brother.
congratulations to the Fighting Aggies. This is going to be a fun class to watch. And Quinn Ewers, who also, after $1 million in 2 snaps at Ohio State, is looking for a new home. That broke over the weekend. I meant to mention that he's looking at Texas schools because he's from the Dallas area.
From Dallas,
Tech,
yeah.
Texas, and Texas A&M are on his radar.
And TCU, I believe he took a visit to yesterday. Though
If I was him, I'd go somewhere where I could start today and throw for 6,000 yards over 4 years. Like, why I got to go to a big school? Oh, my bad. There, let's go.
That's the 411 and a 210.
You can still talk Quinn Ewers if you want.
I just like the name.
His decision to come back I found interesting, and also the response from A&M. It was tepid. I mean,
because y'all have your own guy coming in.
We've got one of the 5 stars that A&M has committed as out of the Houston area that we see as quite the hook. So, Ewers, I think, probably land at TCU.
That would be perfect. Again, you go in and you start today, and you you start all 4 years, and it's your world. You can't beat that.
Man, New England, when you see a masterpiece of coaching, when you see what Belichick and the New England Patriots did on Monday Night Football, now there'll be lots of reasons for why they did it. 70-mile-an-hour winds, the weather, rookie quarterback, Monday Night Football, big spotlight. But how many coaches would come into with a game plan like that? We saw a record fall last night, the likes of which we haven't seen in 40 years, 49 years, I believe is the number. Right. The number of passes attempted and completed in a NFL football game was turned on its ear in that there were none. There were none last night. Belichick with a coaching masterpiece. What does it tell us about New England? How good is Buffalo? And look around the rest of the NFL next. Don't forget, we got a bunch of tickets to give away in the 8 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
We got Iron Maiden and Big Eddie. Got the TSO for those of us in the know. And if you don't know, better ask somebody.
Now you know.
And Gary Clark Jr. is coming to the Tobin Center. We got tickets for that as well. So hang around with us. Coming back, looking at the NFL and Monday Night Football here on R&R in the Morning. This is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Selling the car? Head over to carzeus.com and request an accurate offer. Getting your offer is super easy. All you have to do is answer a few questions about your vehicle. Once you submit your request, they will send you an offer back via text straight to your cell phone. Your offer is valid for 5 days or 500 miles, whichever comes first. Don't sell or trade in your car without seeing what CarZeus has to offer. And I totally agree. The thing about it is you want to be able to go into a dealership with a check in hand versus a trade-in. It makes your dealing with the dealership a little bit easier and puts you in the gives you the upper hand, should I say. So check out CarZeus before you go and just trade in your car. And don't worry if you owe a little bit of money. 60% of their business is done with vehicles where you still owe on it. They can cut you 2 checks, one to pay off and then one for whatever positive equity is left over. So before you sell your car, before your buddy goes and sells his car, go check out carzeus.com. That's carzeus.com.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Kielbasa Slow Crafted Sausage, available at your local grocery stores.
The San Antonio Spurs lose a tough one in Phoenix last night, 108-104, snapping a 4-game winning streak for the Spurs. The Spurs came back from down 16 to tie the game at 88, but couldn't get over the final hump to win the game. Spurs traveled back to San Antonio last night, and they'll face off against the Knicks this evening at the AT&T Center. Tip-off is at 7:30. Also tonight in Texas NBA, the Brooklyn Nets are in Dallas matching up against the Mavs. That game is on TNT with the 6:30 tip-off. And in UTSA news, Jeff Traylor was named the AFCA Regional Coach of the Year, making him one of 5 coaches as finalists for National Coach of the Year for the American Football Coaches Association. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Karl Schoening.
Thomas J. Henry has been featured in Forbes magazine, Fortune magazine, and Bloomberg Businessweek for securing record-breaking results for clients injured in accidents. For more info or to start your claim today, visit tjhlaw.com. San Antonio, Texas.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Injuries happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries and has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain. If you are hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com, or schedule your appointment by calling 210-804-5490.
There's a confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID. But one thing is for sure, whether or not you're vaccinated, you need an accurate thermometer. Contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever, the leading sign of COVID and the flu. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Be vigilant and don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They have no scientific studies behind them and can miss the fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
and Doug. And we're back with Limu, Emu, and Doug for the final question. Category is things you climb. All right, Limu, what do you think? You sure? We're going with Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. Oh, so close. We were looking for stairs. Huh. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You need an accurate thermometer to check for fever, a potential sign of flu or COVID. Be vigilant and contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever. Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Exergen Temporal Scanners are available at Walmart and other fine retailers. Learn more at Exergen.com. That's EXERGEN.com. Exergen is changing the way the world takes temperature.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
If I learned one thing from this great game of baseball, it's that she'll humble you. You think you've got it figured out, you check the standings, and you're in last place again. I'm Eric Rubino, Fantasy Baseball GM, and I can put my team in position to win every single time, but I can't play the games, people. At least Progressive's Name Your Price tool has options based on my budget. It never lets me down, unlike my pitching staff. Amateurs!
Get options based on your budget with Progressive, even if you're not a legend in your own mind. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Colleen, can you run back and wrap that? No, oh, you've got a customer.
The holidays came early for the Hendricks Boutique.
Yes, we'll be open even later when it gets
They'll need a temp fulfillment manager to tie up the holiday loose ends.
I need some more help at the register. Somebody? Oh, Sherry.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This is R&R in the Morning on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5
FM. This is R&R in the Morning. You're on San Antonio Sports Star. I'd like to thank the New England Patriots for allowing football fans to go to bed early last night.
How quick was that game?
I don't know the exact time, but
it went pretty quick, right?
When you attempt the fewest passes in a game for 48 years, it tends to speed the process just a bit.
Yeah.
Crazy weather in Buffalo. Orchard Park was a windy, just mess. Did you see any of the pregame?
I saw
Schefter get blown off his stool.
Yeah, and then I saw one of the kickers attempting a 30-yard field goal, and it went about 15 yards.
The Patriots won their 7th straight game. After starting 1-4, they completed 2 passes on 3 attempts in the game.
What is this, the wishbone?
The 3 pass attempts were tied for the second fewest in a game in the Super Bowl era, and that goes back to 1966.
That's Pop Warner stuff.
But what was galling about it was at some point Buffalo stop the run. They're not going to throw.
Right.
You can put 10 guys on the line of scrimmage. They are not
And even
going
if they
to
do,
throw.
are they going to complete it?
Right. They're not going to throw yet.
I think they did, Rob. And I think that's why, Poyer and the other DB were so upset with the media when they asked, hey, are y'all embarrassed by what happened? Like, dude, why are you going to ask us that? But like, it's a fair question. It's a fair question. These athletes are tripped sometimes. Sometimes I'm on their side. This one I'm not. But when you give up as a professional football team, you give up over 200 yards rushing, that's a fair question to ask.
That's the kind of loss that breaks a season. You have to question
they fell to 7-5.
Yeah, everything about what you're doing, because play after play after play, they battered you.
I think Buffalo ate the cheese since it's the year of the runners.
Because
there was a good 2-3 weeks where we're like, wow, no one's beating Buffalo. And now, they've just kind of fallen off the map. But the thing that Belichick does, and I hate to always do this, but, the thing that great coaches do, they sign people that fit their system and what they want to do. They're not going after a name. They're like, okay, what we've seen on tape with what we want to do, this guy works, that guy works, that guy works. They may be terrible for some other team, but for what they want to do offensive line-wise, what they want to do defensive line-wise, Belichick, Daniels, and everybody, they've put together a really solid football team.
What do you think of Sean McDermott as a coach?
I think due to the fact that he's supposed to be a defensive guy they've consistently, when he first got there, they were phenomenal defensively. And each year they've digressed defensively. So if I'm being fair, I'm not calling for the guy's job, but for what you specialize in, y'all aren't doing that well at all right now.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I'm still withholding judgment, but he got pantsed last night.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
And not only was the game, did he get pantsed, on the last play of the game, the last offensive play of the game, the only play, the entire game, at least by Riddick's point of view, who was doing color on the game, that there was a zero blitz, a total all-out blitz.
Yeah.
They did it one time on that last Josh Allen throw. And that's being outcoached. You were just flat out outcoached.
Yeah, top to bottom.
He knew exactly what you were going to do and called the play that they had in their back pocket all day long. He whooped you. You got beat by the coach.
Yeah. They started off 2-4. And ran off 7 in a row.
I'm starting to get on the bandwagon because that defense is that good.
No, the defense is really, really good. It's scary. It's scary how good they look, and especially if Mac Jones is going to, do the right things. Mac Jones comes from a winning pedigree. It's scary right now. For them to be at the top of the AFC, again, Bill wasn't going to take what Tom did last year laying down.
Oh, man, he's going to have the last laugh.
You think so? I don't know.
Oh, man. He is such
I don't know
a
if they're
good
going to win
coach.
the Super Bowl.
No, I don't know. There's just
You never
not a
know,
lot
though.
there.
I have no idea.
I agree. And that what he did last night, I think most teams would have reacted to that and forced him out of that and forced him to throw the ball.
Right.
Most teams would have found a way instead of just hoping that eventually. I just can't imagine the way they got bludgeoned, especially in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
When you know, and yet you can't stop.
And the reason it's scary is because it looks a lot like Tom's first ring.
It does. That looks
Where
like
they
that
didn't
2001
when they beat the Rams 14-point underdogs. They had taped the walkthrough, but still, it looks a lot like it. Like
There is that.
I mean, Brady's first 3 rings, he was a game manager.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Point blank. That's not a debate, and that's what this looks like: a dominating defense and an offense that's kind of, decent, can move the ball, and an opportunistic. That's what this team looks like.
But, and I'll just throw this out there, is Buffalo collapsing in front of our eyes and we really don't know it yet?
I think so. It looks that way.
Well, they're kingdom for a running back.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, they're kingdom for a running back.
Yeah, that's what's hurting them the most. They have injuries at that position. So, yeah, no running game eventually will rear its head unless you are Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, etc.
There's a reckoning coming for horse racing. Not just Bob Baffert, who's already in some trouble for drugging horses, in specific, a former Kentucky
You
Derby
think as a
horse.
whole?
I think it is time.
What do we need to do?
There's nothing wrong that government intervention can't prolong. There's many things that I will state that, and I try to not get political, but when you got horses dying at the numbers, somebody's going to have to step in. And I think the problem is, as we've seen over the last 6 months, as doping allegations once again have been bandied about when we mentioned Bob Baffert and other top-of-the-line horse trainers. Mm-hmm. It's because every state has different laws. And I think that's the issue. You can run from problems, running from Louisiana to California, California to Kentucky, Kentucky to New York, and every other state, Texas as well, that offers quarter horse and thoroughbred racing, that you can run from problems to another state. And that's got to stop. A reckoning, I believe, needs to come to horse racing when we lose a Kentucky Derby champion
this soon
under strange circumstances post-workout. You just feel like there's a lot of juice being dealt. And we need to get it fixed, because at the very least, if I'm an elected representative, I have great concerns regarding the juicing just on the gambling side of things, just on that part, not to mention the horse and all the animals' safety. Let's talk about what's going on in horse racing, because what happened yesterday just is awful. Don't forget, we're giving away Trans-Siberian Orchestra tickets just on the other side of the 8 o'clock hour, so you certainly want to hang there. We have Iron Maiden tickets as well. It's their Christmas Jubilee show. You ever seen Iron Maiden do Little Drummer Boy?
I don't know if I want to see Iron Maiden do All I Want for Christmas.
When Iron Maiden sings I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus, it will melt your heart.
Stop it.
So correction, just because I don't know where you got that, but it's the Legacy of the Beast World Tour, and it's in September 13th of 2022.
When I saw Legacy of the Beast, of course, I thought Christmas.
Yeah, me too.
Just so people can prepare their calendars for September 13th.
It's for next year. This isn't their Christmas Jubilee show.
This is at the Moody Center.
This is like a rock show.
It's Iron Maiden.
You're an Iron Maiden guy, Karl?
No, I'm just aware of their existence.
Okay.
Hang around. We got more to talk about.
Regardless, it's a free ticket. Who cares what they play?
What do you care?
Who cares what they play? It's free.
You prize pigs. Just stay close to your phone.
Download your damn tickets and hush.
And go to sasportstar.com.
Yes.
Get registered for more swag. We got Cowboys tickets for the rest of the year. We got stuff to give away. You bunch of pigs.
You filthy animal.
You filthy animal. You're on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
If you're in the giving mood, Alamo Cycleplex wants to help you out. Alamo Cycleplex is at I-10 and Days of Valor. They're doing a toy drive up until December 15th to help those less fortunate. We all know Christmas time, everybody's not as fortunate as some. And some people, we don't want any child to go without a little bit of something. So Alamo Cycleplex wants to do its part and help out. And you can go and donate a toy or toys or whatever. I mean, heck, whatever you have, I'm sure Alamo Cycleplex is willing to take. So go over there, donate some toys, and help out those less fortunate. Also, want to win a bike? Pretty cool giveaway. 2022 Honda Grom worth $3,400. They're going up until the 10th. You can enter till the 10th. All it takes, text, and you could possibly win a motorcycle worth $3,400. Text the word Grom, G-R-O-M, is prom with the G, G-R-O-M, at 812-324-8687. A simple text. Right now you can do it. Get your phones out. I'll wait. 812-324-8687. Text the word Grom, and you just entered to win a pretty cool motorcycle. And they've also extended their tire deal, which is pretty cool. If you're a motorcycle guy, you're a slingshot guy, whatever the case may be, even if you didn't get it from there. Their deal is a 2050 deal. It's being extended till the end of this month. Get 20% off your MSRP for all tire sales and 50% off of labor when installed. Give them a call at 210-696-2000 for more info. That's 210-696-2000. So Alamo Cycleplex. And also don't forget, on the 18th, they got the open house. So it's busy in December. They got the open house on December 18th. Santa, free food, free drinks, a mechanic seminar. It's going to be a really cool time. So go and check them out. And if you want to look ahead of schedule before you go over there, go to alamocycleplex.com.
Cowboys, Washington, flinging the pigskin like it's nothing. Get the call live Sunday at noon. Sponsored by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
If you can't sleep because of annoying knee pain, that's a problem. If you stop running because your feet always hurt, that's a problem. If your elbow, shoulder, and neck pain make it impossible for you to do your job, that is a problem. And it's time to finally do something about it. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. No medications, no injections. Arasti treatment is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, we accept most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson, owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. And for the past 27 years, I have represented people in our community who have been injured because of negligent drivers of cars, 18-wheelers, and company vehicles. I really want you to know that if you're involved in a collision, you need to contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. All you may know about an insurance company is what you see on television. If you have ever been forced to make a claim after being injured in an auto collision, there are no jokes, no geckos, no cavemen, no professional athlete endorsers. Just you against a giant insurance company that is represented by skilled adjusters and attorneys who have one job: pay as little as possible. If you've been injured in a collision, please contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. I, of course, want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com. That's all one word, alawyerforus.com.
Hey, Kirk Herbstreit here. You know, there's a reason Eckrich is the official smoked sausage and deli meat sponsor of the college football playoff. It's because we know some people take tailgating as seriously as football.
I cook up enough smoked sausage, mac and cheese for a whole offensive line. Ain't that the truth?
There's no trick plays when it comes to my 3-meat charcuterie board.
That's what I'm talking about. So whether you're into the big game or just big flavor, Eckrich has you covered for all your tailgating needs. Find us at your local grocer. Eckrich, you do you.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So it's about that time for an oil change? We've got what you need. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge Full Synthetic or Full Synthetic High Mileage and an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for just $31.99. And you can get it all fast, your way. Just order online with our free same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Start your job today at AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
If it's rim wrecking board busting action you want, then come and get it.
Catching a right-hand dunk.
The greatest ballers on earth are doing their thing on the hard court, and we bring it to you. Catch the action on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
This is Jason Minix on your home for Cowboys football. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It's R&R in the morning here on the Star. He's Rudy, I'm Rob. So yesterday in Santa Anita, the racetrack there in California, the Bob Baffert trained 2021 Kentucky Derby winner Medina Spirit, depending on where you're from,
right,
collapsed and died after its first workout after finishing second back in the Breeders' Cup last month of what is an apparent heart attack. A 3-year-old colt after running 5 furlongs. Bob Baffert and his barn certainly released their condolences and expressed their sadness to everybody involved. But
that's sad, man.
When you think of what's gone on, there has been a rash.
I remember a few years
racing.
ago, I think it was like 20 horses in like a 2-month. It was bad. It was a couple years ago. It was a bunch of horses died all in like a really short span of time.
Now, keep in mind, Medina Spirit failed a drug test post-Kentucky Derby, which stemmed all kinds of issues. Evidently, there was an ointment that was used at that point that caused the failed test. But Baffert's not. His name has been mentioned with this in the past.
Is he Gotti?
He feels that way.
It feels a little bit like Mr. Untouchable.
Feels like
way.
He's got a lot of buffers.
Right.
A lot of buffers in between.
He's made a lot of people a lot of money.
Yes, he has. But, as we saw what went down in Kentucky, we learned that the regs, the numbers, the amount of substances, all of the veterinary stuff, the medical stuff, it varies from state to state. So what is legal in one state is illegal in another. And that seems to me to be the problem, especially in this mobile sport that is horse racing. Because if you're able to run from a problem, if you're sanctioned by the Kentucky Race Association and you're able to still go function without being inhibited at all in California or any other state, what's the point of this if it is, in fact, to keep the animals safe?
It's, again, I don't know if we're at the Congress point, Rob.
I think we are.
We're getting there? Okay.
Or at least some sort of unified governing body where what is illegal in one state continues to be illegal in others when we're dealing about the health and safety of the animals, if that's indeed the issue. But if we really want to talk about it, it's about gambling. It's about the illegal edge that seems to be available if you just play your cards right and get your horses in the right state with the right kind of drug test. That's how it feels to me.
No, that makes plenty of sense. We have to protect that. They can't protect themselves. I remember seeing a piece on Real Sports years ago about the horses that, didn't pan out. It's bad. It probably does need to go to a higher level because this isn't something new.
But
this has been going on for decades.
And because of that, I don't think that part is the reason will be the reason for change.
What do you think? Oh, because you think
I think it's gambling. It's going to be flat out the sanctity of the sport. Is it evil? Even, excuse me. Is it even?
It's evil and even.
Yeah, I mean, is
both?
Wow, Freudian there.
Right.
But I don't believe it evil, and I do understand that with horses, as with any other cultivated crop, whether it be wheat or cattle, that they exist for a sole purpose.
And I don't think the general public, because it's not like super popular mainstream sport, I don't think the general public really understands, and there's no outcry. Like if this were to go viral, like a lot of things that do in sports, then I think it'd be like, hey, what the heck is going on? People would be marching, they'd be forced to. But because it's a passerby sport, there's no outcry for the animals yet. If this were dogs, if this were dogs, Congress would have been a part of it. But this horses, nobody really paying attention. It needs to go viral in order for something which is crazy that we live in that world where we need public outcry in order to force people's hand.
I agree. But I would argue that 99% of the time we treat retired horses probably better than we treat retired football players.
No, there's no probably.
You know what I mean?
We do.
At least they have a safety net.
They get daily massages, haircuts.
So I think there's a lot of football players going, I wish I had that plan for a lot of reasons.
You're right about that. There's no probably. You're right. You got me there. You got me there.
Hey, Spurs go down, but it was a valiant fight as they left Phoenix late in the night to play the Knicks tonight in an early a regular tip. Let's talk Spurs as they go down to the Phoenix Suns in an effort that was gutty, if not
gutty. I like that word.
If not entirely successful. We'll also continue looking at the NFL playoffs and power rankings. Where do we sit today? Just a couple of weeks away from fantasy playoffs and headed down the final stretch here in the NFL season. We know who our 4 Heisman finalists are. We'll reach that at 8:45 and lots of tickets to be given away. Man, you guys chose the right station, so why leave? We'll be right back. This is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. As we sit on a Tuesday morning, ordinarily it's a reckoning week. You've had a nice fat Thanksgiving week. You probably put on a few pounds. That belt seems a little tight. If you've been going to the IFF for as long as I have, you probably put on a pound or two because you can, in fact, have a little bit of a cheat, if you want to call it that, with the Institute for Functional Health. But really, when I talk to you about the Institute for Functional Health, is for those that really need to lose weight for a lot of reasons. One, it might be just a personal thing. You're tired of the way you look. But for more important types, like I was, that was told by a doctor, quite frankly, it's time to start losing weight, or those numbers that we've been talking about, those lines that you've been skirting, like being pre-diabetic and being hypertensive. It's about time to make a decision, or you're going to go down a street you cannot come back from. If you're getting to that point, I want you to consider what Dr. Torres and the IFF does. They put together weight loss programs for you. Not an off-the-rack, internet-based fad. I'm talking about a program based in medicine, based in science. IFF, they are a primary care office. You can use them as Karl does, as I do. But really about the weight loss, it is a program based in science that's founded in your history. He's helped thousands of people just like you to get healthy, lose weight, and reverse years of poor decisions. If you're dealing with headaches or inflammation, joint pain, digestive issues, those are just a few things that can be fixed, rectified once you start losing weight. Now, many of you have been told by a doctor that you're healthy, though you're overweight. There's no such thing. It's time for you to lose weight, knowing full well that you're different from everybody else. And because you're not like anyone else, you need a program set for only you. Your history, all the things that you're dealing with, play a role in the type of diet you need to be on. And that's why the IFF is so unique. I want you to call and find out what I know. The number is 210-468-1891. Their website is iffhealth.com. Functional health is key here. Dr. Torres believes that God made your bodies to work, and that sometimes the signals that you're getting are telling you that body's not working, though you might not feel as bad as you should. You will feel as bad as you need to eventually. Let Dr. Torres get your body functioning the way that it should. And once it does, the weight will come off. It's not the easiest thing I've ever done, but I'll tell you what, it's the best. Call Dr. Torres today, and I am sure you'll thank me later.
Cowboys football is not a gentle game. Cowboys football is not soft. Cowboys football is war. Just don't use that helmet as a weapon. When you want total Cowboys football coverage, get it here on the home of the Dallas Cowboys radio network. This is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
According to NHTSA, in 2019, more than 5,000 people were killed in crashes involving large trucks in the U.S. If you were injured in an 18-wheeler accident, contact Thomas J. Henry. To start your claim today, visit tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
The People's Choice Awards, hosted by Keenan Thompson, is the only award show chosen by you, the people. So let Keenan hear you.
With nominees in every category.
TV,
movies,
music, pop culture,
and performances from your favorite artists.
Christina Aguilera,
Blake Shelton.
some cool surprises,
Plus huge icon award winners.
Halle Berry,
Dwayne Johnson, Kim Kardashian West,
and more.
Hosted by me, Keenan Thompson. The People's Choice Awards, live tonight on NBC and E. And the red carpet starts first, live from E.
If you're a law enforcement professional, a gun owner, or avid outdoor enthusiast, Top Brass Military and Tactical is your kind of store. Top Brass has the largest selection of high-quality tactical clothing and gear in South Texas at the lowest prices. The 20,000 square foot showroom is always stocked with the latest gear from your favorite tactical brands. Be a hero and get the holiday shopping done early at Top Brass, located at I-10 West and Fredericksburg. Top Brass, your mission starts here.
Happy Hour is back at Twin Peaks, and we're offering up more than just great drinks. Score yourself some chips and salsa for just $2. Your choice of mozzarella cheese bites, chips and queso, or fried pickles, where they're just $4. And the triple play quesadillas or 6 bonus wings, that's right, only $6. Each of these epic appetizers are craveable, shareable, and delicious. And what a deal. Happy Hour at Twin Peaks just got better. See you Monday through Friday, 2 to 7 p.m. Again at late night. Get to Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, and those scenic views.
Jason Minix here for Garageanization. You've heard me tell you about their shelving, overhead racks, and storage systems to make your garage functional for the entire family. If you have issues with your garage, call 210-664-4494. Have them come out and give you a free consultation. Garageanization couldn't be a better choice. A veteran family-owned and operated business for more than a decade. Give them a call at 210-664-4494 or go to the website garageorganizationsanantonio.com.
Texas Cheer Liquor, your one-stop shop for beer, liquor, wine, and cigars. Follow them on Facebook to keep up with specials and tastings. 4 locations, 2 on Petranco, 1 past 211, 1 at 90 in Montgomery, and the all-new Texas Cheer Liquor next to Walmart Palo Alto Road, Suite 101.
With the safe return of live events, you can actually be there to catch all the action in person with Vivid Seats. That's right, every alley-oop slam, every one-timer, and every sideline grab can be experienced live. And with Vivid Seats rewards, you can earn free tickets from your very first purchase. Just buy, collect stamps, and redeem. It's that easy. From upper level to courtside, Vivid Seats has you covered for all the events that matter to you. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, life happens live.
With Early Paycheck, you can get your direct deposit up to 2 days earlier. That's another reason banking with Capital One is the easiest decision ever. Even easier than deciding to open the biggest birthday gift first.
Happy birthday to you.
Which one are you going to open first?
The pony.
Yep, even easier than that. Plus, with no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, is banking with Capital One even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. No fees or minimums on new consumer accounts. Capital One and a member FDIC.
In college football, Goodyear knows a new season means new possibilities, where every Saturday is an opportunity on the road to greatness. No matter if you're out there playing your hardest or cheering the loudest from the sidelines, tailgating in the parking lot, or your favorite spot to watch the game. Goodyear knows passion is what drives us forward all the way to the playoffs. That's the road that moves us. Goodyear, more driven.
Dell Technologies' end-of-year sale is the perfect time to upgrade tech. Save big on the latest computers featuring Windows 11 Pro that easily automate workflows. Don't forget to shop servers, storage, and top-brand electronics with savings up to 45% and all with free shipping. Call a Dell Technologies advisor to help you transform your digital workspaces with comprehensive end-to-end solutions. Find the right tech for your business needs at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
This is the home of the Cowboys, Rangers, and Aggie football. KCDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Rob Thompson, Rudy J. R&R in the morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning to you. This is R&R in the morning.
Good morning.
That's the first R. Rudy, I'm Rob.
Read and react.
Reading and reacting on a Tuesday morning. Forgive me, I've got the getaways.
Yeah, it's all good.
I'm headed to New York. Sorry, Rudy.
It's all good. No worries. As always, next year.
USAA Army-Navy game. The 20th anniversary of 9/11 will be celebrated this weekend as Army and Navy take on each other up in New York.
I think it's only right it's in New York this year.
Mm-hmm.
Because normally it's Philly or Baltimore, right?
It normally is. I didn't get a chance to go last year. Very much looking forward to this. It should be a phenomenal event. And USAA and their the Army-Navy game is one of those bucket list events that once you go, you can't imagine not going again. It's hard not to feel very patriotic and very safe when you hang around these men of action. This hour, we're going to talk NFL. 8:30, we'll look at the playoff standings as we sit. We're closer to the playoffs than you might think.
Let me think. Yeah, we are. I mean, 13, 4 games left.
Yeah,
it's still weird. The 17 games is still throwing me off.
It is. It's. I think it's thrown off the way you schedule the season. You know,
the way you practice.
When you turn up the heat to kind of get your team going again. You combine that with the COVID protocols. It's just been a very strange end of the season. Doesn't feel like it's as close as it truly is. I was paying attention to this weekend just because I noticed playoffs for fantasy football is just a couple of weeks away.
That bye week for this, because the one seed is the only one that gets the bye week now. That's prime real estate. That game off is huge because you got to think, if you go from the wild card is 18, 19, 20. You're playing 21 games if you come from the wild card. Which is that's a lot in pro football.
That is truly a lot of football. It's hard to imagine, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Well, the Spurs, speaking of a lot of games.
Low Spurs or the Spurs, why don't we just stick with the white, Karl?
Can we, just
play
in the white?
Play in the white? Like, I'm being serious. Like, do they have to wear the black?
Hey, Keldon looks slimmer in the black.
He does. You know what? That's the biggest urban legend. The biggest urban legend is, people my size that feel like, oh, I'm wearing black, I look thinner. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
You just look like a black hole.
Yeah, you still look big, bro. You still look big.
Just like a
people
star.
Like living in black, like we don't think you lost weight, bro. But no, Keldon does look different in the white. I don't know what it is, man. But anyways, I love that uniform. And I need a t-shirt. Do they have the t-shirt out? Well, you know what they did, and it was sold out in 2 minutes. And I'm not giving them $160. First of all, I'm not buying a jersey anyway, but I wouldn't give them $160 for the jersey. That's a lot for a jersey.
It's about the going rate for
it is,
the
but when you're 44, it just seems like $400.
Yes, it seems.
When you're my age, like I mean, if I was your age, Karl, I'd drop I'd give them $160.
Spurs go down, and what was a
entertaining game. I liked it.
Yeah, we went in to this little Western swing going against some of the very best. And the Portland win, it made sense.
Right.
Portland's headed down quickly. They're headed toward as my
the rumors are starting
to
fly. Yeah. Dame's starting to get mad. Like, oh, rumors are Dame wants to play with Ben. And Dame's like, oh, y'all want drama too damn much. Blah, blah, blah.
We're headed toward a come to Jesus moment, as my dad would call it.
We haven't talked Ben or Kyrie, but
no,
yeah,
it's been very quiet.
Been very quiet.
Then the Golden State win. Well, that was an execution win. That was a team that came in ready to go, felt good about themselves after Portland. So it was easy to see this Phoenix game being a bit of a letdown because I think if you look at, how you structure your season, there's little goals and there's ongoing goals, and you had been pretty successful on those short-termers. And going into Phoenix is never easy, but what was most impressive about it was that late game comeback. They get down to the best team in the West, and many argue the best in all of basketball.
And Phoenix was coming off of a loss. That's always tough. When a team's on a mission and they're coming off a loss, they're going to be tough to beat.
Now, we had good production
from a lot of guys.
Six guys.
And we got our 6 guys in double figures, but we didn't get the W.
Yeah, we did because we didn't get the 20. They were all about 14 to 15. Yeah. So let's give some credit to the Phoenix defense, one.
For sure.
And to the defense that the Spurs offered. It wasn't like Phoenix. I mean, they did go get 108, which is
that's good. And in today's NBA, 108 is 98. In today's NBA, it's hard to hold teams under 100 with the way teams jack up threes.
And believe it or not, had a better 3-point shooting night than their opponent. That
really
doesn't happen very often. 11 of 29, and Phoenix went 10 of 29. So we're splitting hairs, but the fact of the matter is they had a better 3-point shooting night than their opponent, and that doesn't happen very often. Wasn't enough. Chris Paul was the separator. The lone difference in that game was Chris Paul and the savvy ability to just go get buckets and set up his guys.
Yeah, he loves that elbow. Use the screen, get to the elbow, fade away, falling back, mid-range shot. He's mastered it.
And we lost, I think, to one of the more underappreciated guys in the league in Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder can just play basketball.
Yeah. I know he's a Shaqtin' in a Fool Hall of Famer, but JaVale McGee, when he's surrounded by talent, he is such an asset. He's not crying to be a starter. He's not crying for minutes. He works his tail off. Again, he got re-signed because Chris Paul and I want to say it was Devin Booker saw his effort in a game that was a blowout, and they said, hey, we want to keep him around. And he had a really good game. I mean, Ayton and McGee combined, they did damage on us in the paint as far as rebounding, affecting shots, and getting easy buckets. I love JaVale McGee.
On the other big, is Ayton still chasing a contract?
Yes, because
he has not been.
Well, the thing about it is Phoenix knows, we'll probably come out better just letting somebody give you a restricted offer and then we just match it. Why would we pay? Why would we overpay? It's just, it sucks for him, but it's smart business for Phoenix.
What did you think of him last night? Is he worth the money?
I think the world of DeAndre Ayton.
I thought Jakob played him pretty well. I'll be frank. I thought Jakob played him the best way to play him.
It's funny. I always kind of say it like this. Everybody got mad at Jakob. Why didn't you just dunk that? And the answer is usually because he's not DeAndre Ayton. Because DeAndre Ayton is the kind of athlete at 7 feet that can do all the things you want Jakob to do. But Jakob is the guy who just isn't quite there at $10 million versus getting the still significantly better, but is it $30 million worth? That's the question.
And I felt that last night. Yes, DeAndre Ayton is an upper echelon NBA big. I mean, let's not take away that
he's one of the unicorns that's still a center, but can do some other things well enough to where you don't mind having him out there.
And he's only going to get better at 23 years old.
Yeah, I see.
He's that young,
but I can see why Phoenix is hesitant. I can see why Phoenix is going to check the market because what I saw Jakob Poeltl do last night. Jakob Poeltl was equally effective to DeAndre Ayton. He does, you don't think of them the same, but they do essentially the same things.
Set screens, roll to the basket, catch lobs.
Block some shots, protect the rim, just do the big man things and periodically offer a little bit of offense. And the separator is that Ayton's offense is better.
Yes.
But if you're telling me—
it should be, he's the number 1 overall pick.
For $30 million or $10 million. See where I'm at here?
What did Collins get?
Collins a little bit more than
per year.
He got 5-year, $125 million, so it averages out to 25, but it increases as he goes on.
I would pay Ayton more than I pay Collins.
Yeah, but right there.
Yeah, I would pay Ayton more than I pay Collins. 25 to 30, I think is fair for Ayton.
Probably, but if you look at the output from Poeltl, at least head to head, it was pretty damn close. I mean, if you're going to if Ayton's a 14-8 night, 8 a night guy. 14 points, 8 rebounds, couple block shots, maybe an assist or two. That's Jakob Poeltl. I mean, we're talking about the same kind of numbers. It's just a matter of how you structure your team. It just kind of struck me as this guy is a unicorn, as you just described him, and is still chasing a contract and is very effective. But Poeltl, as he gets better and slowly gets his win back, I think he's a definite huge piece of the puzzle for the Spurs. Maybe not long term, but I'm beginning to think more and more that there's no need to spend money on a post.
Yeah, and
draft one.
And on the Spurs side, they're trending upward. That's all that matters. I think, over the years, Pop has trained us to not worry about wins and losses versus making sure you're doing the right things to get better every night.
So as we sit, the Spurs are 8-14. They sit in 12th place in the West. They're 4-6 in their last 10, as we have discussed a lot, losing their last one. They have the New York Knicks coming into town tonight, a home game versus Tibbs and the I wouldn't call them struggling Knicks, but the Knicks team that's still trying to find out exactly who they are as they deal with Kemba Walker sitting down and watching and those young guys trying to find your way. We will get you completely ready for the Spurs. So go ahead and set your clocks by it. At 9:30, shoot around will begin as we look forward to the Spurs game tonight. Let's get you caught up on everything that you require, all the headlines as they break. We try to glue them back together. Karl has your 411 and the 210.
Here's the 411 in the 210. Headline 2.
Raiders running back Kenyon Drake out with a broken ankle and calls for a rule change after the graphic tackle that caused the injury. Drake went down midway through the second quarter at Allegiant Stadium, where he suffered at the line of scrimmage injury from a handoff near midfield. As he went down, Drake's right leg was caught by a Washington defender, and he could be seen bending awkwardly under the pile. Drake lost the ball on the play, through a fumble was called and reversed and eventually given back to the Raiders. He remained on the field for some time and was carted off the field to the locker room, didn't return. Later on Sunday night, Drake took to Twitter and actually shared a graphic angle of his injury, which directly showed his right ankle being crushed under Washington defensive tackle Darian Payne. Drake said that this isn't the time he's felt with his legs being rolled up on from behind by a defender. This isn't the first time he's felt his legs being rolled up on from behind from a defender. Something he believes the NFL needs to outlaw, seeing as such as big emphasis on taunting this season instead of something like this. He said doesn't make sense to him. Quote, "The NFL needs to look at this specific style of tackling," he wrote. "They are throwing flags for taunting and protecting QBs from getting touched, but this is my second straight season being injured by a guy pulling me back by using his body weight to roll up on my legs. If emphasis is to protect players, this should be a legal form of tackling like a horse collar. We lose players weekly to high ankle sprains and broken bones, but the league would rather flag players for erroneous taunting penalties. Let's get our priorities together."
I agree with that tackle. I hate that tackle. I hate it when they kind of like jump on. It's like you ever seen the rodeo where they tackle the calf? They get off the horse and they tackle the calf. That's what it seems like, because you could still do it without actually grabbing the horse collar. So I hate that. I hate that tackle as well.
Fix it. Yeah, that needs to go.
Yeah,
the alligator tackle, the rolls, all that, and the roll.
Terrell Owens broke his leg on the tackle like that.
We can fix that. Just make it illegal.
Like, just stop letting them do it.
Just stop it. Yeah, I'm with you, Kenyon. It's unfortunate that is still a thing. And there's also the interior line crackback block. I still think I don't know why that's still allowed inside the tackles.
Oh, yeah.
I'll never understand why that's still a thing. Fix that. I mean, the game's violent enough. We don't need to have the roll up broken ankles like that.
Okay. Damn, he fumbled on that play.
Yeah.
Crack
an ankle, you tend to let go of the ball.
You excuse that fumble.
Yeah. Tough on Kenyon.
Sucks for him, man.
Moving along.
Headline 1.
Green Bay Packers quarterback Jordan Love placed on the COVID-19 list as the backup quarterback has been taking most of the midweek practice reps while Aaron Rodgers treats and rests his fractured pinky toe. He was placed on reserve list Monday. The team made an announcement on the day the players returned to the facility from their bye week. Love, who said he is vaccinated, would have been part of the group of players tested upon their return for the week off. Unvaccinated players who have not had COVID in the last 90 days would have been tested daily during the bye week.
Did Aaron give it to him? I don't know.
They are in the quarterback room, and yeah, that's possible, I suppose.
Positive don't mean sick. But it is part of the modern sports landscape, man. As players disappear for a bye week, that's got to be the new primary concern.
Yeah, athletes
Keep your mask.
It stinks for athletes. Like you and I could get it, and I could just be like, "Hey, Rob, I'm taking a few days off. I have COVID. Just don't say anything on air."
Yeah,
an athlete gets it. It's like, screw your HIPAA laws. He has COVID. You know what I mean? Like us, we can all hide. We can hide it. We're like, "Hey, man, I'm just using some of my vacay."
Yeah, to that point, when we heard a good friend of the show and all around great guy, Eric Morris, leaving Incarnate Word, heading to Washington State, first thing I thought was, I know he's vaxxed.
Yeah, because they lost their coach because he didn't want to get back. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's unfortunate that's become part of the modern parlance.
Is he vaxxed? That's the first thing we think. Like, first thing we ask, is he vaccinated?
Must be.
Yeah, athletes have no privacy. Your contract rolls on the bottom of Sports Center for 24 hours a day. Like cousins you don't know hitting you up. Like, hey, cuz, I saw you got 113 mil. Got a great idea. Like,
it's called a car wash and a biscuit factory.
Yeah,
all rolled in together.
All in one. And then at night, we turn it into a club.
It's a club. Notice the lights. All I need is 50 grand.
Yeah, man.
Cash.
NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, no HIPAA laws for you guys. Sorry.
At least in the NHL, they tell you it's a lower body injury.
Do they?
They don't say it's a knee or an ankle. Yeah. They just say lower body.
Lower body. True that. They don't want them targeting it.
Moving along.
Headline 0.
Bad news for League Pass viewers. Chicago Bulls' DeMar DeRozan enters health and safety protocols. DeRozan is the third player currently in health and safety protocols,
Screw your HIPAA.
joining Kobe White and Javonte Green, both of whom tested positive for COVID-19 last week. However, as of Monday evening, the Bulls were not certain whether or not DeRozan would be sidelined for multiple games. Billy Donovan said he expects to know more information in the next few days.
You know, with all the protocols, we kind of have built-in load management.
You know what?
That's kind of like a
I didn't think
built-in
about
kind
that.
of. I'd like to see fewer games missed due to being tired. If we're going to miss all these protocol days, you get a little 5-day break. 10-day break for some.
Yeah, for most people, it's 10 days because it's tough to get those 2 tests in 24 hours.
Yeah, we joke about that. Then you hear from like Jakob, who had a rough bout. I mean, Jakob didn't feel good for a week.
Oh, yeah. And the Spurs is being the Spurs. Even once he got back, they were like, all right.
Take your time.
Yeah, go to Austin, get in shape, and then we'll make sure your lungs are good. Then you can come back to the team.
You see, speaking of coming off protocols, Joel Embiid went off again last night, 43.
Yeah, 43 and 15, something like that. He's so, when people were saying, when people were even had the mention of Akeem, I slapped somebody.
Yes.
I slapped somebody when they said Akeem. But then as he kept progressing, I'm like, I'm not saying he's Akeem.
He's not.
He's not Akeem, but he's uber talented. Uber talented.
But to this day, and I don't want to go off on a tangent
No,
here,
we're not.
But every time I see a Joel Embiid highlight, every time, why is it always a fadeaway jump shot? That's the one thing that drives me crazy about Joel Embiid. And
he can do that.
He can do that. Right. I know. But why is that? And he went and got 43 last night, and I'm sure he will have lots of paint points. But to me, there's different kinds of paint points. There's paint points at the free throw line, still counts as paint points. But when I see 7-2 and that, I can't imagine ever even letting him out to take that kind of shot.
You would have hated Wilt Chamberlain.
No.
Wilt shot a lot of fadeaways?
No,
Wilt's go-to was
points.
fadeaway.
But it was paint points.
Yeah, it was closer to the rim because it was the 60s.
Yeah, it was paint points.
Like, I think Embiid is the best player in the NBA, especially when he's healthy. He's the best.
That's a hot take, Karl. I don't know if I agree with you, but I'm a fan of hot takes, and that is a hot take.
I think he impacts the game more defensively than Steph Curry, and Steph Curry's better offensively, but all around, top to bottom, if they're healthy and I could get the number 1 overall pick for a one-season thing, Joel Embiid is the number 1 overall pick. He would have won MVP last year if he didn't get injured.
Yes, that's true.
Rob
didn't like the hot take.
No, I beg to differ. I think he's up there, but I think part of it is he doesn't lift other guys. It's the league thing, though. It's not him.
It's criminal that he hasn't won a defensive player of the year yet. Criminal. He locks up the middle of the paint. In fact, I was amazed that he came back. His issue is injuries. It really is.
You think he's a better defender than Rudy Gobert?
Yes. Slightly statistically, I would imagine Gobert probably is better, but if I had to pick one player defensively, that's 1A and 1B. Either way. Joel
Karl
Embiid
woke up with his Conan sword. Karl came in here swinging the Conan sword.
I watched that game last night before the Spurs game. I was watching the Hornets game, but I switched over because I got to talk about the Spurs game. But,
right.
But I didn't think we'd talk about the 76ers as much. But yeah, Joel Embiid's the best player in the NBA. And he did it last night without Tyrese Maxey. Granted, not New Orleans.
Charlotte that was
down.
their G League
Yeah,
team.
they were down 5 players. They were letting James Bouknight, who was in the G League last week, playing a majority of their minutes because they're out LaMelo, they're out Rozier. I think Ish Smith is in protocol. So yeah, they got a lot of stuff going on.
Because I'm a guy that likes to go outside the box. Again, I don't agree with you, but I can dig it. Hot takes on R&R, hot cakes.
Yeah, we got
that's what we're gonna call them, hot cakes. Since we're in the morning,
I'll take it.
Hot cakes. Karl bringing the hot cakes with the extra syrup this morning. I like it.
I think his rim protection's fine. When I see 7'2" and I see a 7'5" wingspan,
he does shoot a lot of fadeaways,
and I know the skills he's got on the box. And I see him taking a fadeaway 13-foot jump shot, and I'm like, man.
But he makes it.
He makes enough of them to where you allow him to do it.
Right, that's the problem.
To where you allow him to do it, but he doesn't make enough of them to where I think he makes a substantial difference. I think for that team to be great, he has to stick to 3 or 4 things. Don't try to be everything for everybody. Just go down and be Joel Embiid, be big, be Shaq.
But don't you have to do it all in today's NBA? Don't you have to step out?
I think that there is room for a guy like Embiid to be Shaq. I think there's room for him
today's
to do that.
NBA.
I think that he would get as many buckets, he would score as many points if he never left 12 feet from the basket that he does.
But
now.
what does that do for Maxey and Tobias Harris if he's just sitting down there in the paint?
That's a point. You're making then Ben Simmons is sitting there watching. That's saying the same damn thing.
Yeah.
But you got to, when you're talking about the skill set that he has, and Karl, to a great extent, in my mind, is correct. He's got as many things in his bag as any post has ever had. But you have to use him that way. And he likes to take those jump shots, and I think it takes their team out of the flow. Now, last night, there was a lot of reason for him to do what he did because he didn't have anybody around him. But I hate it when I see him beat highlights when it's an 18-foot fadeaway jump shot. It just, to me, the purest in my heart goes, what are you doing?
Just go dominate.
Go post up and get a foul and make a free throw, take a three, and make it a 3-point.
He makes free throws as well.
The guy.
I don't disagree with you. He's an effective 3-point shooter, and he's really effective in the block, but they do have to spread him around the high post situation because they also like to post up Tobias Harris a little. They like to post up Harris more than they like to post up Ben Simmons, which was annoying, but Ben Simmons isn't on the team anymore, so I digress. But technically speaking,
I know what you mean.
Yeah. But yeah, Embiid really is just the kind of dream 7'2" modern center. But if it were 10 years ago, 12 years ago, maybe even the 90s, he would be a pure center like you're talking about, I think. He watched a lot of Wilt film, and that's why I think he does the fadeaway.
And he's got footwork. He's got footwork.
He has it all.
Everything
he has it all. He has it all.
And to see that, it just is counter to everything I believe basketball needs.
See, that's the thing. You use the P word.
Mm-hmm.
You're a purist.
And that just watching the highlights last night. Yeah. And before we had to break, for those that hung around just so they could go check out Trans-Siberian Orchestra, just so they could take the fam to enjoy a rock and roll Christmas, the likes of which you only get to see once a year, because they're coming to San Antonio for 2 shows on Friday, December the 10th at our beautiful AT&T Center. If you want to go and celebrate Christmas with them instead of Iron Maiden and Big Eddie,
the Cherry Jubilee. What did you call it? The Christmas Jubilee. Oh, Cherry Jubilee is what my family eats.
That Iron Maiden, their Christmas cantata. Because if you haven't seen Iron Maiden sing "Oh Come All You Faithful," you have not
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer
Christmas the way you should.
Have you seen Iron Maiden play Rudolph?
Oh man, it will bring a tear to your eye. But that's yet another show,
right?
But Trans-Siberian Orchestra, which in fact will play the songs we just mentioned. If you're calling number 5 to 656-3776, 656 ESPN, you're going to get to go. Check out the TSO for those in the know. coming to the AT&T. You can still get your tickets online. Go to AT&Tcenter.com. Coming back, let's look at the NFL playoff standings as we sit. Who's got the best shot to get the bye week? We'll talk about it next here on R&R in the Morning on San Antonio's Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
I had a great experience, start to finish. Website easy to use. I give them the vehicle info along with a couple photos. Immediately got a text asking when's a good time to chat with the representative. They called when they said they would. Gave me a range estimate pending in-person inspection. The range was reasonable, not super broad. I made an appointment to take it in the local office. Staff was super friendly and ready for me. They inspected the vehicle and then honored that initial estimate falling right in the middle of the range. It was refreshing not to play the games dealerships play. These folks didn't waste any time. Less than an hour in the office, start to finish. Highly recommended. And that's a 5-star Google review. And that's everything I've been telling you. So just in case you ever think, oh, Rudy pulling my leg, it's a paid advertisement. No, you got real customers with real opinions. And people don't hold back on these reviews. They're going to tell you the real. If you're a review person, you give the real. And that's the real. And that's 5-star feedback. And that's CarZeus. CarZeus.com, CarZeus.com. I want to say I'll be back over there sometime next week. Sometime within the next couple of weeks, I'll be over there with Vida and the crew. Great people, great atmosphere. I'm telling you, when you walk in, you feel like you're at home. Very nice, very clean. Everybody's super nice to you, and they do what they say they're going to do, and they do it in a timely manner. So go and check them out yourself if you got a vehicle you need to sell, or if you got a buddy that needs to sell them. Make sure you refer them to CarZeus.com. That's CarZeus.com.
Sports Center is brought to you by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, available at HEB.
The San Antonio Spurs lose a tough one in Phoenix last night, 108-104, snapping a 4-game winning streak for the Spurs. The Spurs came back from down 16 to tie the game at 88, but couldn't get over the final hump to win the game. Spurs traveled back to San Antonio last night, and they'll face off against the Knicks this evening at the AT&T Center. Tip-off is at 7:30. Also tonight in Texas NBA, the Brooklyn Nets are in Dallas matching up against the Mavs. That game is on TNT with the 6:30 tip-off. And in UTSA news, Jeff Traylor was named the AFCA Regional Coach of the Year, making him one of 5 coaches as finalists for National Coach of the Year for the American Football Coaches Association. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Karl Schoening.
You may be into punk rock, soft rock, or classic rock, R&B, hip-hop, or house, country, techno, or techno-country. But no matter what kind of music you listen to, here's something else you should hear. Please consider getting vaccinated. Talk to your pharmacist today about Comirnaty, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA. This message brought to you by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign of COVID and the flu, so make sure you use an accurate thermometer. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate, with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them, and you cannot rely on them. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents.
And Doug.
Don't you just love the smell of old books?
Shh, this is a library.
Sorry, ma'am. We're looking for a book titled Liberty Mutual Customizes Your Car Insurance so you only pay for what you need.
I don't think we carry that, but check nonfiction.
He really does devour literature.
Please leave.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson, owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. And for the past 27 years, I have represented people in our community who have been injured because of negligent drivers of cars, 18-wheelers, and company vehicles. I really want you to know that if you're involved in a collision, you need to contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. All you may know about an insurance company is what you see on television. If you have ever been forced to make a claim after being injured in an auto collision, there are no jokes, no geckos, no cavemen, no professional athlete endorsers. Just you against a giant insurance company that is represented by skilled adjusters and attorneys who have one job: pay as little as possible. If you've been injured in a collision, please contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. I, of course, want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com. That's all one word, alawyerforus.com.
Diamonds Direct is giving you one more holiday gift of 25% savings just in time for Christmas. A last-minute sale on all earrings this weekend. Yes! Save an unprecedented 25% off all earrings at Diamonds Direct. Diamond earrings, sapphire earrings, gold earrings. Get Diamonds Direct's unbeatable price plus an extra 25% savings. Whole diamond studs are included, so this is huge. Special financing, too. It's Friday through Sunday only. A truly epic earring event at Diamonds Direct. Details, directions, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
Want to get out of your dead-end job but think you don't have the time? Think again. Now you can complete the My Computer Career Evening program in 30 weeks, almost 30% shorter. You could start your new life as an IT pro in months, not years. More than just a school. My Computer Career helps you get into the industry by working with employers that have hired their students. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Since being the first to make wiper blades over a century ago, Trico has protected drivers in any weather. We're always looking ahead, studying your specific driving conditions so you'll be ready for anything. Like, if it actually rains cats and dogs, you can handle every soggy Siamese and drenched Doberman. Your Trico wipers maintain maximum windshield contact for safe, clear driving visibility, whatever the weather. Trico, the future of wipers since 1917. Visit TricoCatsAndDogs.com.
This is Jerry Jones, and you're listening to the home of the Dallas Cowboys.
San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
This is R&R in the Morning.
Yes, it is.
You are on San Antonio Sports Star. Thanks for joining us today.
Rumbling and rambling.
Hey, if you haven't registered to win some Dallas Cowboy tickets, it is so easy to do. Go to sasportstar.com. You'll see the icon. Click there. Get yourself entered. We have home game tickets all the way through the season. They get the football team this weekend.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm excited for that one, Rob. I know you don't respect Washington. You think they suck.
I give them as much respect as they are due. A middling team in the worst division in football. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah. Karl, we left out some fun facts from the Spurs game last night.
Before we dive into the NFL, we need to talk a little bit
about that.
Young Josh Primo.
Yeah, Primo became only the second NBA player in NBA history to have at age 18, 4 blocks and 3 steals in a game. Dwight Howard is the only other one. Back in 2004. 4 blocks.
From the guard position?
Yep.
So we have another Derek White, DeJounte Murray. Do we have another piece to our defensive triangle of toughness?
Yep. I think that he's just as talented as anybody on this roster. And he's probably more talented offensively, but he needs some polishing than pretty much anybody. Maybe spare Devin Vassell, but I think there are some really good young talented players on this team, and he's one of them.
And hear me out. I think it's going to be Chip England's easiest project. I like his shot. I don't think Chip has to mess with it much.
None.
It has improved over the course of the year, though. I would have to say from his first G League game to where he's at now, it's night and day.
Like Vassell, you could see something. You could see a hitch. Murray, White, like everybody, I could see something where I was like, Chip's got his work cut out. Primo,
he's ready. That's smooth release.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think
tight elbow.
Again,
nice snap.
There's always something. There's no such thing as perfect. So there's something, but it'll be one of his easier projects.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot to fix. There's only some tweaks going on there. Devin had a little bit of an elbow issue.
Yeah, it was weird. Devin's shot at Florida State was awkward.
But, that happens with guys with longer arms. It just takes them a while to, got to keep in mind how young he is. And when you're young and skinny with long arms, you don't have a lot of strength there. So they pick up bad habits just for the sake of making shots.
Absolutely.
And the difference between an NBA 3 and an NCAA 3 is a lot more than people would think. A lot of legs and a lot of, having a 7'8" or 6'8" guy running at you. He's really athletic. Those closeouts make you have the release on your shot way higher than you've ever needed in your lifetime before. So there's a lot going on in NBA threes, especially above the break.
Agreed.
You ever you ever do the dive when you're defending a three? You know, you charge and you go down low and try to act like you're taking your knees out.
That's always like you try to scare them. Yeah, never works.
For it to work, you have to actually do it one time.
Right,
You have to have there has to be a threat that at some point you might actually take somebody out at the knees.
I'd rather do that than slide my foot underneath him. I like Bruce Bowen.
Zsa.
Remember, Bruce people used to get mad at Bruce. Like, dude, he's dirty. Who was it? Vince Carter, Ray Allen?
Yeah, he was dirty. I mean, he was our dirty, though.
Yeah. It's not dirty when he's on your team.
I mean, but that's not, you can be.
That's not what he's defined by.
An aggressive defender and play within the rules.
Yeah, Bruce, I don't define Bruce by a dirty player. He's just a great defender.
But, I mean, it's the NBA.
Every now and then he's Zsa.
Well, there's something for you. Wouldn't matter.
It's probably impossible to find, but once upon a time, there was a poker table that had David Robinson and Bruce Bowen, and they asked Bruce, what's the key to defense? And he says, keep your hands up so the refs can always see your hands. And David Robinson chimed in and says, so they don't see you using your feet.
True statement.
Agreed.
We're going to see Bruce tomorrow.
I saw that the other, can't talk about, yes, we are.
He's coaching, you know.
Yeah, he has an AAU team, right? He's actually the high school coach.
The local team, and they have a travel team that's coached by somebody else, but he's coaching the local. At least last I heard over at Cornerstone.
Yeah, good luck to him. I did hear that.
I think this is his second year.
Mm-hmm.
I think he started last year. As we sit today in the NFL, that's what we promised to talk about. Let's get it in there.
Let's get it going.
The Dallas Cowboys sit atop the NFC East with a comfortable lead. They will take on the second place NFC East team in the Washington football team this Sunday, and thought process is they take this game and basically skate toward the end of the season because it's all an NFC round robin for all these teams. So
already,
each
it's only
team,
4 games. So we're division heavy now.
Yeah.
The NFL has changed to because people were tanking.
Right.
NFL changed to putting the division games at the end of the year. So it's about to get thick.
So if Washington football team is as good as you think they are,
don't put words in my mouth.
I'm just saying, do that. All of the NFC East teams, as we do with the rest of the conferences, hold for the most part, control their own destiny because you are closing the season out with division games. So while you feel comfortable, you can make up an entire game, a full game, instead of a half game if you were playing elsewhere and dealing with hoping they lose while you win kind of scenarios. So things can change quickly, and the Cowboys have seen collapses late in the season. They have seen losing division games when they'd been winning non-division games cost them at the end and not go or end up on the road when they could have been at home or getting a bye. With that in mind, the Cardinals are probably in the same boat as the Cowboys as they host a nice little lead too. They sit at 10-2.
Wow.
The Rams are at 8-4. So they very much like the Cowboys, though it feels comfortable. There are division games coming.
Mm-hmm.
But in your mind, the Cardinals are the best team in the NFC.
I think they are. I mean, when you can win games when guys are out and then what they did while they were at full strength. Now, you know, that Green Bay loss is kind of ugly because Aaron Rodgers was missing all of his players. But, I mean, top to bottom, it looked like they finally hit their stride and Kyler Murray, you know, I didn't realize, again, I watched him in Oklahoma, but when you're watching on Saturdays, you just never know how it's going to correlate to Sundays.
Right.
I really didn't realize little dude really has a cannon.
Yes, he
really
has.
has a cannon. I don't know if that's because of baseball, because of the QB camps, but he really has a cannon.
It's
like he can spin it.
That's the best way to put it. He can spin it, and he can spin it 45, 50 yards.
Yeah, and then you have DeAndre Hopkins, who's a top 3 receiver in the league. You have a defense that's solid. You spend some money over there. I mean,
the rest of the NFC is done. Packers at 9-3, Vikings closest at 5-7, done. NFC South, Bucks at 9-3, everybody else at 5-7,
done.
So the NFC is pretty much rounding into form.
Yeah, you know what, when you look at it that way, but
especially with both the Pack and the Bucks going against conference rivals that, quite frankly, are just not up to snuff.
Yeah, now we're playing for positioning.
So now you're looking at, you know, while fourth for the Dallas Cowboys seems to be almost imminent. I don't see them catching the Cardinals. I don't see them
Well, they play the Cardinals.
Still, but the Cardinals also get to go against the Seahawks and the 49ers. I mean, they might get close, but heads up, they have to be even to get that. And I don't think they're even going to be even to get the heads up part. So fourth place looks almost imminent. I don't think the Packers are going to slow, nor the Cardinals. And Cowboys probably have a loss left in them against the Cardinals team. And Tampa's going to skate.
So you think the Cowboys will be fourth? So they'd be playing the 2-7, 3-6, 4-4. They'd be playing the 5th seed at home. Get that home game. You win the division, you get that home game.
Could be a Ram game.
Oof. I don't know. The Rams, again, the Bills and the Rams, they, I started off the season like, hey, these two teams could meet in the Super Bowl. Right now, I'm like, I don't know about either one of you.
No, I don't, especially the Bills. The Rams feel like every other team in Los Angeles, once they figure everything else and get the gears meshed, that things will be okay. I mean, there's just too much talent for the Rams not to at least be a threat. And if they can just get healthy at running back and get Odell on the same page.
He finally caught a touchdown.
Yeah.
Again, the elephant in the room is that defense can be had.
And too much talent there, too. Well, we got 3 Hall of Famers running around there.
And you can drop 30 on them.
Which
today, in their building, out of their building, you can get 30 on the Rams. That's their biggest problem. And Matthew Stafford makes a couple plays a game where you're just like, dude, you've been in the league over a decade. You have no business making that throw. He does that once or twice a game. And that in the playoffs, that's going to – and just remember, Matthew Stafford only has 1 game of playoff experience, and they lost to the Dallas Cowboys. He's played in 1 playoff game. 1. We don't know what he's going to look like come playoff time when the lights are on, especially if you're on the road.
The 4 Heisman finalists have been mentioned, but we think we already know who's going to win it, but we'll talk about it coming up next. Before we do leave,
okay,
football fans, the most interesting division left in football, when we have 2 of them, the AFC North and the AFC West. We thought they were going to be interesting.
Absolutely.
We thought they were going to be cutthroat. It's been a little bit messier than we thought it was going to be, but when you've got this many good teams packed together, you're not going to have as pretty a record. I cannot wait to see how the AFC North shakes out.
Because of the Bengals?
What happened to the Bengals? What was that?
I don't know.
How do you let the Chargers do that?
And see, the team they're playing is the exact same way.
Right.
The Chargers, that's why when we picked those games on Thursday, we were like, they both up and down. I'll take the Chargers. They're both that way. Like, again, they beat the Ravens by 1 billion. They beat Pittsburgh by 1 billion, and then they go and lay an egg against the Chargers. I don't get it.
Watching the Ravens offense, which looked miraculous not that long ago, watching in the discussion about Lamar being MVP, just go ahead and give him it when he was passing at a rate we had never seen.
He don't look like
that's
MVP
a
anymore.
long time ago, isn't it?
Tom Brady's probably an MVP.
It's hard to argue.
Most passing yards, I want to say, has the most touchdowns. I don't know how we argue against giving TB12 the MVP.
It's one of those player of the game not named Tim. MVP not named LeBron. I mean, yeah, we
Going
could
down
give it
the
to him
list
if we wanted to.
Right.
Hey, coming back, talk about the future. Heisman finalists have been named. Not the best class ever, but we think we know who's going to win. We'll tell you who it is coming up next. Hang here. You're on R&R in the Morning here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Ribs, burgers, chicken. Submit what you cooked on the grill or smoker, and you can win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market. Grilling with the Blitz. Online at sasportstar.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Hi, this is Trey Ware, customer number 1 with Alamo Water Softeners with their water treatment bundles. Special pricing to give your home the highest quality water treatment available. Choose from several bundles, including the Premier Whole Home Bundle and so much more. Log on today to alamowatersofteners.com and make an appointment with one of their whole home specialists for a free water analysis and recommendations that are customized to your home. And be sure you ask about 0% interest, same as cash for 2 years with approved credit. alamowatersofteners.com.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Are you looking for a job where you can have tons of fun and make great money? Twin Peaks is the team for you. We're looking for Twin Peaks girls, cooks, bussers, barbacks, and more. Text WORK 4TP to 85000 to apply. That's WORK, the number 4TP to 85000 to apply.
The People's Choice Awards, hosted by Kenan Thompson, is the only award show chosen by you, the people. So let Kenan hear you.
With nominees in every category.
TV,
movies,
music, pop culture,
and performances from your favorite artists.
Christina Aguilera,
Blake Shelton.
some cool surprises,
Plus huge icon award winners.
Halle Berry,
Dwayne Johnson, Kim Kardashian West,
and more.
Hosted by me, Kenan Thompson. The People's Choice Awards, live tonight on NBC and E. And the red carpet starts first, live from E.
Hi, everyone. Michael Kielbasa with Kielbasa Smoked Meats here. When you bring a package of our smoked sausage home, keep it simple. It's handcrafted in small batches and fully cooked, so you can just heat it up and enjoy. My favorite way to eat it is on a bun with mustard or wrapped in a tortilla. Try some from a store near you today, and if it's not the best you've ever tasted, I'll give you your money back. Guaranteed. Find Kielbasa at a store near you today.
Tune in to The Blitz today for the ESPN San Antonio Injury Update, powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. Catch up on the latest injuries and how it'll affect your team. The Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. Online at tsaog.com. Hey, Kirk Herbstreit here. You know, there's a reason Eckrich is the official smoked sausage and deli meat sponsor of the college football playoff. It's because we know some people take tailgating as seriously as football.
I cook up enough smoked sausage, mac and cheese for a whole offensive line. Ain't that the truth?
There's no trick plays when it comes to my 3-meat charcuterie board.
That's what I'm talking about. So whether you're into the big game or just big flavor, Eckrich has you covered for all your tailgating needs. Find us at your local grocer. Eckrich, you do you.
Marty, I am the ghost of rewards past, here to show you all the cash back you could have earned on your holiday purchases.
But I get up to 1.75% cash back on all my purchases.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I have a Navy Federal Credit Union cash rewards card.
Well, cool. Happy holidays.
Learn how you can slay the season with a cash rewards card at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
They're hitting the hardwood and hooping it up. College basketball is back on the court, and we've got all the action.
A three-pointer, it's good!
The games you want to hear all through bowl season. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hey, this is Jason Fitz, and you're on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Welcome back to the Star. He's Rudy, I'm Rob. Hope your Tuesday has started out the right way.
Jonathan Taylor is the MVP. You know what, Conto? You may be onto something. I mean, it is maybe time for us to give it to someone other than a quarterback, Conto. You may be onto something.
Taylor's good.
I don't think the Colts, even though their record isn't great, it would be much worse without him. So that does make you valuable.
Who's the best player in college football this year?
The best player in college football would be Sincere McCormick, but no, it's got to be Bryce Young.
The 4 candidate finalists for the Heisman Trophy, which will be awarded Saturday in New York at the quarterback club there. Bryce Young, quarterback, Alabama. C.J. Stroud, quarterback, Ohio State.
Good too.
Kenny Pickett, quarterback,
Pittsburgh, right?
Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Aiden Hutchinson, edge runner, rusher, Michigan. Those are your 4 finalists.
What's weird about that with Michigan, in their last Heisman was defense, right? Charles Woodson, or have they had one since Charles? No, I don't think so.
When did Desmond win his? He was.
Oh, you know what?
He's older than Woodson.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah, I don't know, Rob. But anyway, I'd go with Bryce. I mean, when everybody told us that Georgia could not be scored on,
yeah,
he went through for damn near 500 yards on them. So either he's really good or Georgia's defense was over. I'm getting a lot of tweets that Georgia never played anybody, and they're not shocked. But everybody's telling me that after the fact. Nobody said that before the game.
No, you're right. But I will agree with you that Georgia played like a team that had not faced adversity against a good football team. They were searching for an answer.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it'll happen again.
And Kirby's downfall will be the quarterback position. Until he gets a QB that, like every QB that Kirby has had, because he let Justin Fields walk to Ohio State, because he told Justin Fields, I know you're the best quarterback in the nation, but I'm going to make you compete for your job, which was the dumbest move that he possibly could have made. Until he gets a QB that can play from behind, and because all the guys he gets, they're game managers that play with these huge leads because their defense is so good, he's going to have to go ahead and get a big-time QB. Nick Saban had to do it with Tua. He had to do it with Mac Jones. He had to do it with Jalen Hurts, and now Bryce Young. Kirby's going to have to do that as well. Because those QBs, the QB situation in Georgia is it's so filthy. It's like, dude, who do you like? You're Georgia. You're Georgia. Go get a QB.
Well, they come and go. I mean,
you get 5 stars everywhere but QB.
Well, your quarterback with the Bears was a bulldog for a bit.
Yeah, Justin Fields, he was there, and Kirby told him, you're going to have to compete with this nobody named dude for your job. And Justin was like, no, I don't. I'll go to Ohio State and go to 2 Final Fours. Not competing with somebody. I'm the number 1 QB in the nation. You crazy?
I'm not coloring Georgia done. I think Georgia's still going to be the national champion.
You believe that?
I do. I don't think they're done.
So you got them beating Michigan.
I got them beating Michigan, and I got them beating Bama. I think that what I saw was a team that
Nick
didn't have
Nick
enough
has
time.
Kirby's number.
Well, there is that. There is I can't take into account the coach owning another, but I still think Georgia's more talented. I think that they have every opportunity, had opportunities, just didn't capitalize on them for whatever reason. But the defense, I think, had to look in the mirror. I think that they hadn't seen the likes of what Bama could do. Doesn't mean they can't fix it.
This wasn't a really sexy year for the Heisman.
No, but I will say that Desmond Howard coming out last week going, should we even offer it? Shut up, man.
What Desmond was like, yo, we're just not going to give one out.
Like,
hey, the MLB Hall of Fame does that some years. Like, nope, nobody's getting in this year.
I mean, if you're going to give it to Chris Winkie, there's been some Heisman winners where you go.
Who's the other? Who's the guy from Oklahoma?
Didn't Danny Werfel win a Heisman?
Who's the guy from Oklahoma?
Oh, which one? Which lousy one? One was it?
What?
It was.
It's Sam Bradford.
It was Bradford.
No, Bradford. I didn't have a problem with Bradford. It was the other one.
It was White.
Yeah, he won a national title, but he was terrible.
So that doesn't equate to success. And I'm looking at the 4
His
finalists.
last name was White. I just said he was white. He was terrible. No, that was his last name. Let me clear that up because I know how this world works. Like, next thing you know, my boss is getting an email. Rudy said the white guy
sucks.
Yeah, no, that's not what I said.
Hey, I saw a movie. They can jump. The
other thing, Rob, we haven't talked about, and this needs to be said, because they already had a down year. I mean, for goodness sake, Wake Forest is playing in the ACC title game. Clemson without Brent Venables. Nick Saban, the god himself, those first couple years without Kirby, the defense didn't look the same. Clemson, I want to see what they look like without Brent Venables. They were already not too good this year. They weren't that good this year. I want to see what they look like without Brent. Paul Feinbaum, who you can hear on these airwaves at 2:00, he said their dynasty is over, and the Clemson Tiger Nation hate Paul.
Feels that way, but he's an SEC trumpet.
He is.
But
are we counting Cincinnati out, Tex Girl? Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. We love Cincinnati.
What kind of question?
We love the valiant effort, but yes, we are counting them out.
Go G5.
Yo, G5 is right.
No disrespect to them, but I'm not expecting them to beat Bama.
Hey, coming back, I promised to give away some tickets to Iron Maiden and Gary Clark Jr. in the 9:00 hour. We'll hit the streets running, talking NCAA coach. The transitions continue. Miami, they got theirs, but at what cost? What a mess this has become. And the Spurs shoot around. We'll get to you at 9:30 as we prepare for the New York Knicks. This is R&R in the Morning, and you're on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Do you have a toothache? Do you need your wisdom teeth out? Of someone in your family in search of new dental implants? If you are, I want to tell you about Dr. Mark Havercorn in River City Oral Surgery. River City Oral Surgery, their full scope oral surgery practice over on 1604 and I-10 across the highway from Topgolf, to give you an idea where you are. Dr. Havercorn lives here, San Antonio. He doesn't fly in from another city. He doesn't disappear afterwards. He's part of the pre-care and aftercare. He keeps his home here in San Antonio, and that is an issue if you've been searching around, especially in the dental implant world. He treats people of all ages, from everything from a toothache to wisdom teeth. If you got somebody coming home, a college kid that's time to get the wisdom teeth out, maybe it's a high school kid that it's time to get the wisdom teeth out, and you're going to use the Christmas break to take advantage of the free time, I want you to consider Dr. Havercorn. He's an oral surgeon and a medical doctor with years of actual experience, and he's doing dentistry in a new and interesting way. See, prices are listed on his website. He'll tell you exactly what every procedure costs, down to the penny. No upsells, no additions. This is what it costs. Go to rivercityoms.com. See what I'm talking about. See, what he does is charges a flat rate, does not accept insurance, though he'll help you file. But the fact of the matter is, the rate that he charges, 9 times out of 10, will be less than what you will pay out of your dental deductible. So if it's time for a new tooth, it's time to get implants, it's time to get those wisdom teeth out, you owe it to yourself to call Dr. Mark Havercorn, because the service and the professionalism and all that goes without saying. It's spot on. But it's the money that we're talking about. So even if you have dental insurance, this will probably still cost you less. And financing is available. So whether you need a tooth taken out, dental implants, or major facial surgery, call Dr. Mark Havercorn at River City Oral Surgery. Write this phone number down. It's 210-778-0002. 210-778-0002. The website is rivercityoms.com. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your family. Save some money and get the very best in dental care. That's Dr. Mark Havercorn with River City Oral Surgery. Call them now and thank me later.
The college football tradition lives here with in-depth analysis and breakdowns from our team during the week of the Aggies, the Longhorns, UTSA, and more. Catch the gridiron action on Saturdays with live play-by-play from around the country. Bowl season. Let's go! The college football playoff and the national championship comes to life right here. Love it! On San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign, and only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and cannot be relied on. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at exergen.com.
At CDW, we get the challenge of managing data across different environments.
Our company data is everywhere, in the cloud, on servers. I just found some data under my couch cushions.
Well, wherever it lives, CDW experts can streamline your data across hybrid cloud environments and unlock your cloud's full potential with NetApp Cloud Services.
That's great. Ow!
You okay?
Yeah, I just stepped on some data.
IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/NetApp.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson, owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. And for the past 27 years, I have represented people in our community who have been injured because of negligent drivers of cars, 18-wheelers, and company vehicles. I really want you to know that if you're involved in a collision, you need to contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. All you may know about an insurance company is what you see on television. If you have ever been forced to make a claim after being injured in an auto collision, there are no jokes, no geckos, no cavemen, no professional athlete endorsers. Just you against a giant insurance company that is represented by skilled adjusters and attorneys who have one job: pay as little as possible. If you've been injured in a collision, please contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. I, of course, want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com. That's all one word, alawyerforus.com.
Here's an unexpected holiday surprise. A last-minute sale on all earrings at Diamonds Direct. This weekend, 25% off. That's right, all earrings. An incredible 25% off. Diamond studs, diamond hoops, colored gemstone earrings, designer earrings. All earrings included. Who wouldn't love a nice pair of diamond stud earrings for Christmas? Make it happen this weekend and save an unprecedented 25%. Best prices of 2021. Special financing available too. Friday through Sunday only. And only at Diamonds Direct. Official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys. At the shops at La Cantera.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So it's about that time for an oil change? We've got what you need. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge Full Synthetic or Full Synthetic High Mileage and an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for just $31.99. And you can get it all fast, your way. Just order online with our free same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Start your job today at AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
Welcome to Allstate, where saving on your auto insurance is kind of like reaching MVD status, most valuable driver. Because with Allstate's new lower auto rates, you score quality insurance and more dollars in your wallet. And that's worth celebrating. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability, terms, and conditions.
NFL fans, the fantasy football season doesn't just start in September. Every week is a new shot to win big cash prizes at DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL. And this week, new customers can play free for millions with their first deposit. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the game. Playing daily fantasy football is simple. Just pick your lineup of NFL stars while staying under the salary cap and score enough points to bring home cash. And with a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes, you'll feel the NFL action like never before. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings app now and use code KJM to play free for millions. That's right. Enter code KJM to get a free shot at millions in total prizes with your first deposit. Do not miss out. Download DraftKings and play the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
One team, one mission. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Rob Thompson, Rudy J. R&R in the morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
We're so glad you're with us on a Tuesday morning. He's Rudy J. I'm Rob Thompson. You're on San Antonio's Sports Star. R&R reading and reacting to the weekend's activities. Spurs playing tonight after a quick turnaround in Phoenix. They go down last night in a gallant effort.
Yeah.
We'll take on the Knicks tonight at home after being away for a week. We'll get you ready at 9:30 with the shoot around. There's a list of the top movies of 2021 out on Variety, and
I want it. I need this.
Dude,
I need
haven't
this
seen
list.
any of them.
That's fine. We're gonna get. It'll be something for us to watch.
I've never even heard of some of them.
Really? Me either. If you haven't heard of them, then I haven't. I'm sure Karl may be able to help us out, but then Karl be in his own world.
Karl
too.
hadn't heard of these either.
Karl be in his own world sometimes too. He'd be like, "Hey man, I just be minding my business."
Like, have you seen the movie Parallel Mothers?
What?
I don't know.
Is Variety credible?
Oh, Variety is very credible,
Okay.
but also they're artsy. So they're looking at those kind of movies that.
Oh, the ones that they show at the Bijou over at Crossroads
let's see
with
what
the
we got
subtitles.
here.
What do we got?
Let's see.
Let's
here.
do this.
Number one is
Okay.
a movie, Spencer. I guess it's about Diana movie, or at least a memorable one. Tends to be about the inner lives of its characters, as it says here. But Pablo Rain's entrancing drama is a lightning rod that channels the inner life of Princess Diana. That was a big part of our house. We followed the Diana Chronicles for years.
You did?
Oh yeah. My wife is a big Anglophile. We watched Downton Abbey, all of the Crown stuff. I know way too much about the British Crown.
I've never been. Okay.
No, I don't know. House of Gucci comes in at number 2. Karl, have you seen House of Gucci?
Yeah, what's up, Karl? Give us the review without giving away the flick.
Rich people, problems, in a movie.
There you go. Ridley Scott's supremely entertaining and revealing drama about the Machiavellian machinations that brought down the Gucci fashion dynasty.
Yo, are you trying to get a job?
I just read.
You're trying to get a job reading for the movie.
I'm reading the caption.
Yeah, did you hear how he read that, Karl? He was like he was doing a 30-second clip for us to run on the Sports Star. He had the voice inflection and everything. You can't help it. It's just like
I got lost.
It's like riding a bike.
I got lost in the moment there.
Yeah. All right. What else we got?
Third movie. the Beatles.
Yeah.
Now the Beatles Get Back, which I'm hearing a lot about, but I think it's on a streaming service, right? I don't have to pay to go see this one.
The Beatles one?
I think it's floating around on one of the streams. Drive My Car comes in at number 4.
What is it? Give us the rundown in the voice.
Do you want the voice?
I need the voice though.
Let's see here. The central character in the Ryosuke Hamaguchi reverently touching and clear-eyed drama is a middle-aged actor-director played with the serenity and forlorn bottled-up humanity that only Hidetoshi Nishijima can offer. Finds himself in a midlife predicament and just an idiosyncratic enough to seem utterly real.
Did they really use all those words?
I don't know. Yes, those are the words that are on the page.
That's not going to make me watch your film, but maybe it's not for me.
Well, if you're going to go see a movie and they use the term idiosyncratic,
it ain't for me.
You're probably going to be reading subtitles.
What else you got?
Cruella, which I've actually seen.
Yeah.
That wasn't bad. Zola, I guess, is about Emile Zola. Became known as the movie based on a tweet storm.
Tweet as in Twitter?
I guess. I'm reading it as we speak here.
Wow.
A wild ride into the sex industry abyss.
I'm in.
Rochelle.
I'm in. You said the S word.
Erotic journey from Milan.
Erotic?
No, I'm taking a line from Seinfeld. A wild ride into the sex industry abyss. What is this rated?
Probably PG-13, but I'm down.
And Janice's Bravo in a directorial voice as searing as that as the vintage Scorsese offered us years ago. Tells the story of two women who head down to Florida for a weekend gig at a strip club, and things go awry.
I'm down.
All right. Late night viewing. King Richard comes in at number 7.
I've heard good things about King Richard.
Yeah, I'm sure it's good. It's just not my kind of movie.
The Beatles is on Disney. It's a series of 3. Saw the first episode. So freaking awesome. Thank you, David Alejandre on Facebook. Our early birds are always help keeping us afloat.
I'm just of the age at 55 where
you knew the Beatles?
I knew of them, but it didn't mean much to me. I'm the first generation that's post Beatles.
You were the first generation to be like, I get it, but I don't get it.
Yeah, it didn't mean like I have, cousins that are just a couple years older than I am. Just,
they're like Beatles fanatics.
Yeah, they still look back fondly on that era. And I don't. That just doesn't mean much to me, but I certainly understand the adoration. Zack Snyder's Justice League comes in at number 8, according to this variety
Justice League, like DC Comics?
Yeah.
That came out this year?
That's what it feels. All I do is read the list.
I think that's right, actually. Yeah, that was actually released in a 3x2 format, so it wasn't the typical like widescreen format. It looked like watching an old tube TV, essentially. But the quality was really good. It feels like that came out at the beginning of 2021. I'm surprised that
it does seem like a bit. Zack Snyder restoring his 4-hour cut of the DC origin story that got boulderized or Whedonized by Warner Brothers. I guess that's something you guys know about.
I had to break it up into parts. I did not watch it in one sit.
That's right.
Now I remember.
This is the Redux. The first one wasn't edited right, so we got a longer version, and it did improve it, though it took a lot longer. Number 9, as we're wasting too much time here, Coda is I tried to watch Coda.
Which one was? What was this about?
It's a movie about about deaf people.
Oh yes.
It has what's her name, Mary Stuart Masterson, or no, that's not her name, Mary Matlin, Marley Matlin, and Troy Kotzer starred in that one. Yeah, I saw that one float by. And number 10 comes in with Parallel Mothers.
Dude, I was 0 for 10. No, I was 1 for 9, 1 for 10. I knew about the King Richard. That was it.
Now, Parallel Mothers, excuse me.
What's this
is a tale of two women in Madrid, played with perky cross-generational resonance by Penelope Cruz and Melina Schmidt, whose babies are born at the same moment and who come to share their lives in ways that are puckish and mystical in a topsy-turvy world. I didn't make that up. I wrote that. Somebody wrote that.
I didn't know Penelope Cruz was still making movies.
I don't even know who that is.
You'd recognize if you saw her.
Oh, I see a picture of her. Yeah.
Yeah, you know Penelope.
Yeah. Now I know exactly who she is.
Yeah.
How could I have forgotten?
Boston George's wife. Johnny Depp, the cocaine movie.
Oh,
yeah, she was his wife in that movie.
The pilot, the guy that he wasn't the pilot, but he was the one bringing all the cocaine into the country. I know exactly who you are, who we're talking about. Well, those are the top 10 movies of the year. There are other lists and other movies that I too have not heard of, although I've heard about The French Dispatch.
Not I.
It's one of those kind of weird movies by the dude that makes Wes Anderson.
Oh,
he makes movies that are kind of like a fever dream.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk some sports. Karl has all your headlines, and very quickly thereafter, we're doing our Spurs shoot around. We're going to know our enemy and know our friends as we get ready for the Spurs Knicks tonight. But first, all the headlines that are suitable for the listening public. It is time for the 411 and the 210.
Here's the 411 in the 210. Headline 2.
And so it begins. A nonprofit to offer Texas offensive linemen $50,000 annually. Every Longhorns offensive lineman on scholarship will get $50,000 annually to use of their name, image, and likeness to support charitable causes. A new nonprofit entity announced Monday. Horns with Heart said the Pancake Factory would start in August 2022. The organization said it hopes to expand the program to other football position groups and Longhorn athletes in the future. The name comes from the pancake box linemen sometimes do during the play. The Horns with Heart announcement said that it was founded by 6 Texas alumni and supporters with experience across multiple industries and disciplines to make a positive impact on local communities, but did not say who they are. Horns with Heart did not immediately respond to an email request, according to SI.com.
So y'all help me out, Rob, Karl. So this isn't money they get to keep. This is money that they're going to have to get and give to a charity
that they can take and invest in the communities from which they came.
That's awesome.
They'll get $50,000. I guess they will be mentored by this board from the Pancake Factory that come from interdisciplinary or whoever the hell they are, the check writers. But my question for this is, and I'm always looking for the loophole to get around. So if I'm an offensive lineman and I'm given $50,000 to use as I see fit to set up some sort of community thing, what would keep me from hiring my mother and paying her $40,000 to run this $50,000 charity? Just throwing that out there.
I mean, nonprofits do that every day.
Yes. So I'm just saying, first of all, I love this idea. I think it's genius. There's no reason why this shouldn't occur. And, the fact of the matter is there's really no need to be illicit. You can go get money for your name, image, and likeness. And at least the University of Texas, and I would like to see other universities follow, say, yeah, you know what? We're going to use your NIL to better your community. So the money will pass through your hands. Let us help you in finding the best way to help where you're from instead of just throwing money at them, because you don't need to now. They can go get their own money.
Yeah, I don't know how much money actually will end up in the hands of these scholarship athletes, but it is probably,
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's probably Chris Del Conte saying, hey, here's the way that you can still get your tax write-off, but don't give us all of the money. Give some of the kids the money.
It's also, you got to think,
a lot of money.
Some of the neighborhoods that come from, the rec centers run down, the basketball court is run down, the park is run down, it's trash infested, grass all over the place. So there's a lot of different things that this money can go towards when you're talking about helping our community.
Ingenious.
And these kids nowadays want to be more part. We give them a hard time, but they're a little bit more in tune to stuff that's going on than we give them credit for.
Very much so. I completely agree with that. And now we're we're a year in. We're in the first year of
figuring
this
out this NIL stuff.
And we're seeing how universities are going to park their money, and they're going to park it, at least UT through this lineman association, park it in community effort. But it's no surprise that it was announced today, a week out from National Signing Day. I'm just saying that it's
Oh, yes.
I mean, the fact
you
that,
still got to get your
there's $50,000.
Yeah. And the name is genius.
They are going to the SEC.
So they've only here's
all
the
that
thing.
Stuff.
Texas is what? They've only sent 2 offensive linemen to the NFL in the last decade?
Yes,
Something
since 2010.
like
Maybe $50K will help that.
Well, the Pancake Factory, I love the name.
Genius. Good idea. All the way around. Keep doing that.
This comes out to $800,000 annually.
because of how many linemen there
How
are.
many offensive linemen tend to be on scholarship?
I just did math. I just did the math.
That's awesome.
You're 800,000 and you get 50,000. Then that's 16 linemen that will get the money.
My man, Rain Man over there.
That's what I am. I do math.
What you do.
Moving on.
Headline 1.
UTSA head coach Jeff Traylor named the AFCA Regional Coach of the Year in another win for UTSA. Head coach Traylor has been named the American Football Coaches Association Regional Coach of the Year. He joins Luke Fickell from Cincinnati, Sam Pittman from Arkansas, Michigan State's Mel Tucker, and Utah State's Blake Anderson as the 5 regional winners. Taylor is now a finalist for the National Coach of the Year. That'll be announced here in San Antonio, by the way.
It seems like everybody understands UTSA's impact except the bowl committee.
True.
So worth
Luke
noting,
Fickell's going to get it, though.
Worth noting while we're on the topic of UTSA, it seems that the New Orleans Bowl and the Independence Bowl do not have an ESPN tie-in.
No.
But this ESPN tie-in with Conference USA, ESPN got first right to decide who from Conference USA was going to be on their ESPN Bowl, the Frisco Bowl. So that's
so we should kind of be flattered.
Yeah, this is according to Greg Luca from the San Antonio Express News, who covers
He
the
would know.
UTSA. He was saying that this is sort of ESPN picking them for ratings.
It's kind of a pat on the back from ESPN, like, hey, we want UTSA.
Or 6:30 on a Tuesday.
It lightens the blow a little bit.
I'm just being honest.
Rob always want to come in with the guillotine.
I mean,
You wanna come
we
in and
really
chop
want
up-
you for drive time on a Tuesday. You're the best option we got. So I guess, we should feel honored that we're the best option they have at 6:30 on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
But I think they could have done
Should
a
have been
little bit better.
Independence. I think it should have been Independence.
But hey, we earned it. Let's go. Let's go
do
kick some
it.
ass.
Got to go win
Let's
now.
go kick some ass and bring a trophy home. Let's take a scalp. Let's bring it home. Moving on.
Headline 0.
Warriors' Steph Curry doesn't rule out hitting 16 threes in the next game to break Ray Allen's career record. He said anything is possible. The Warriors superstar now sits just 16 three-pointers away from breaking Ray Allen's career three-point record after knocking down 7 more trays in a 126-95 win over the Orlando Magic Monday night. When asked if he thought he could break the record of 2,973 during Wednesday's home game against the Portland Trail Blazers, Curry smiled and said anything is possible. Part of the reason the smile came so easily for the two-time MVP is because he knew what it would entail, breaking teammate Klay Thompson's single-game record of 14 three-pointers, which came October 2018 when he knocked off Curry's previous record of 13. He said, what is it? 15 instead of tying Ray Allen's mark. That's funny because I know what it means to Clay's record and all that too. So we'll see. If you've seen the way I've played, especially recently, I'm not shy about shooting the ball. So the game will dictate what that looks like. But I'm not coming out with that as a true goal of how I play. Crazier things have happened.
Oh, he's going for it, man. Are you kidding me? Portland better look out.
Portland's gonna be blitzing them. Nobody's gonna want the record broke on them. But with let's say 5 to 6 years left to play,
he's running away.
Where
with
this
this
record gonna be? What is this 3-point record gonna be? And is it ever coming down?
Oh, it'll come down. This will be one that will come down.
What?
We're in the
Trey Young, Luka Doncic.
We're in the new age. We're in an age where this has never been done before. So we're just now learning what the 3-point shot means. I think we're going to have guys playing 20, 25 years now taking threes from the moment they set foot on the court at this kind of volume. This is a record that's going to look amazing, but I promise you in our lifetime, we'll see it break. We'll see it fall. Some of those other ones, like
you know what,
100
Rob?
points, I don't think we'll ever see that again.
That's a hot cake.
But this is a
hot cake.
It's a new era.
Because I can't
and
see
we're
it.
in our second generation of this new era.
Yeah.
The first generation, that was Ray Allen.
Yes. And we said Rays wouldn't get broken.
And now we're seeing, my gosh. And Trey has been shooting at a pace a lot like Steph did. But it's going to take him 15 years to get there.
Yeah.
So I think we'll see that fall.
All right.
But this is going to be, by the time he retires, it's going to look like Mount Everest.
Yeah. We'll see.
Moving along.
That's the 411 and a 210.
The funny part about this is the very idea of 16 threes being made just sounds to me impossible.
Insane.
And he's joking about it. Like, well, it could happen.
I mean, as a team last night, Phoenix only hit 10.
Right. So
he's hit 10 in like 30 games.
Easily. It is an easily attainable thing. And if you consider how we saw Klay Thompson break it, I mean, he took, 14, and he had touched the ball for a total like 6 seconds. So it can happen quick.
Very much so.
Spurs are taking on the New York Knicks. A recently troubled New York Knicks basketball team.
It's right on time for Thibodeau. About the 3-year mark, things get shaky for Tibbs. Guys get tired of playing for him, diving for loose balls at practice. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Tibbs is tough to play for.
Tibbs is tough to play for. Can the Spurs rebound after the first loss in 3 outings? We'll talk about it next. It is time for your shoot-around when we come back. And also we'll have Sean Rima stopping by, we hope. Looking forward to that. Let's give away some tickets before we go. We've got I owe you Gary Clark Jr. tickets.
And Iron Maiden.
Who wants to go see Gary Clark Jr.? You know, sadly, I threw away my rundown. I don't have the exact date for the Gary Clark show. I know it's in February.
I have it.
February on
February
the 2nd.
February 2nd, yep.
656-3776, 656-ESPN. You want to go see a guitar virtuoso, the likes of which you don't see very often. That is Austin's very own Gary Clark. He will be in San Antonio at our beautiful Tobin Center in February on the 2nd. You want to go? The Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are 656-3776, 656-ESPN. You're quick on the dial. You're going if you're caller number 3. We'll be right back. We're looking at the San Antonio Spurs. Shoot Around is next here on the San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Start earning Amazon rewards just in time for the holidays. How do I do that, Rudy? Here's how you do it. You request a link from CarZeus, share your personal link with your family and friends. When they sell their car to CarZeus, you get rewarded with the $250 Amazon e-gift card, and your friend that sold the vehicle, friend or family member that sold the vehicle will get one too. Yep, that's right. Total of $500 in Amazon e-gift cards. So hit up CarZeus, request a referral link. They'll get you going. So before your friend just rolls over to CarZeus or just say, oh, you know what, I'm going to go do that. Make sure y'all get some money, man. It's Christmas. It's time to get paid. It's time to, get some gifts. Save you some money. It's all about saving money. Instead of saving your money, throw it in some crypto. Whatever you want to do, save some money. But get that referral link from CarZeus. That's carzeus.com/referral. They'll send you that link. You send them over there. When they buy that car, y'all get paid. Who doesn't want some free Amazon money? We can all use Amazon money. Amazon trucks up and down everybody's street every day. Why wouldn't you get in on it? This is the perfect opportunity. We all got grandparents, aunts, uncles that have cars just sitting there they don't use. Let them know about CarZeus. Like, hey, you know what? I don't know if you want to, Uncle. I don't know if you want to, Theo. I don't know if you want to, Tia, Walita. I don't know if you want to get rid of the car, but if you do, hit up CarZeus. Y'all get you some Amazon money. That's carzeus.com/referral. Hit them up. Get paid.
Sports Center is brought to you by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Available at H-E-B.
The San Antonio Spurs lose a tough one in Phoenix last night, 108-104, snapping a 4-game winning streak for the Spurs. The Spurs came back from down 16 to tie the game at 88, but couldn't get over the final hump to win the game. Spurs traveled back to San Antonio last night, and they'll face off against the Knicks this evening at the AT&T Center. Tip-off is at 7:30. Also tonight in Texas NBA, the Brooklyn Nets are in Dallas matching up against the Mavs. That game is on TNT with the 6:30 tip-off. And in UTSA news, Jeff Traylor was named the AFCA Regional Coach of the Year, making him one of 5 coaches as finalists for National Coach of the Year for the American Football Coaches Association. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Karl Schoening.
I stay very active. For my 40th birthday, I ran a 50-mile race, and to train for that, I was running about 70 miles a week. But over the years, that's deteriorated to a point where even running a mile, my knee would swell, and the pain that I would have would sideline me for several days.
That's Shane Mosney's story that led him to QC Kinetics.
I elected to choose a combination regenerative therapy that helps my knee regenerate to a point where I'm able to get out and start running again. But more importantly, I left there with a lot of hope.
QC Kinetics natural biologic treatments boost your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged tissue with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery.
Those guys have given me back a part of my life that was deteriorating. I just ran my first 10K since my therapy, so I'm trying to pick a good half marathon to run, but my goal is to run another marathon, yes.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. QC Kinetics, 571-0318.
If your family depends on your income and something happened to you, what would happen to them? You need life insurance, and SelectQuote can help you get it at a price you can afford.
SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, who's in excellent health, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $19 a month.
Not in perfect health? Don't worry.
SelectQuote found Tanya, 40, who has type 2 diabetes, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $32 a month.
We shop companies like Protective, Prudential, American General, and others to find you the company with the best rates. Give your family the security they need at a price you can afford.
For your free quote, call 1-800-519-0449. That's 1-800-519-0449. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-519-0449.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policies at selectquote.com/commercials. Your premium could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Is your prostate waking you up more often than your alarm clock? The fact is, the older you get, the more likely you'll have prostate problems, which can affect your everyday life. That's where Prostate Complete by Real Health comes in. Prostate Complete is the result of 20 years of experience as a leader in men's health. The powerful formula in Prostate Complete supports natural prostate function and reduced urinary urges for a better quality of life. Available at Walmart. Visit prostateoneperday.com for special offers. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
A double shot of energy in the AM. Rob Thompson, Rudy J, R&R in the morning on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It's R&R. This is an appropriate intro because we ain't working. He's Rudy J. I'm Rob Thompson. For those of you that are, thank you so much for listening to us. I'm going to give away some it just fell out of my brain.
Gary?
Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden, okay.
I threw away my rundown a couple of minutes ago.
Really?
I wasn't
Just
thinking
because?
ahead. I was playing a lot like Buffalo last night. Wasn't planning
You're
on the
kicking
next
into the wind?
I'm just kicking into the wind, which is appropriate to a lot of things that I do. Just kicking into the wind. Hey, Spurs coming home tonight after a tough one in Phoenix, going to take on the New York Knicks. The Knicks come in of, it's been about a week or so of, I wouldn't say turmoil with the Knicks, but as you said as we went into break, Rudy, that the Thibodeau timeline is in full effect.
Well, the reason it hasn't been turmoil is because Kemba Walker has taken the high road. And due to the fact Kemba Walker took the high road, it made everybody's job a lot easier. So
we're going to dive into the Spurs. But first, I'd like to welcome in Sean Reimer.
Hey, Rhymes,
what's going on?
The Rhymester.
The Rhymester.
Trying to come up with something witty to intro you. I failed.
My stupid name is witty enough.
I failed miserably. What's going on in the real world today?
Just something I'm going off on.
What's up?
Well, I love convenience stores.
You mean like Quick Trip, Valero?
Before we go any further, like an ice house?
Yeah.
Or
No,
like a modern version of
7-Eleven.
QT or everything, or the
just
Valero corner store.
Valero corner stores, 7-Elevens. I've worked in 6 of them in my celebrity career, celebrity radio career, and I just have a thing for convenience stores.
Okay.
And for me, Buc-ee's is the Parthenon. It's the pyramids of Giza.
Absolutely.
It is the most amazing convenience store ever created by men on planet Earth.
It's a monument to success.
It is.
If you need a shopping cart to go to a convenience store, we've gone out there.
But that's what I love about it. Where else can you buy a scorpion keychain? Okay. Now there's a TikTok video that came out about a week ago of some people who obviously were not from Texas.
Okay.
And somebody is videotaping some folks talking about
walking through Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They referred to Buc-ee as a gopher.
As a gopher.
He said, you
So
hear the
gopher
audio.
nuggets.
These Texans sure do like their gophers. That's number one. Okay.
Well, thanks for playing.
Beaver and Gopher kind of look alike.
One's got a big flat tail, man. You ain't Gopher ain't got no flat ass tail.
It's not called Gofies.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead. What else?
And then they were calling it Bussies.
Really?
Bussies.
But there's the S is all the way at the end.
Yes, I know. I don't know who these people
Where were they
or
from?
They're I don't know, but they're communists.
They are.
Bussies?
Freaking communists.
Only Bussies I know is the flea market.
And it's not it's a degrading term, I guess, but those Yankees. That's just Yankees.
Yeah, that's a Yankee
That's
thing.
just Yankees.
I'm a former Yankee, so you can call them Yankees because that's what they are. Take your carpet-bagging ass back home.
Just a bunch of Yankees cruising through Bussies.
Yeah,
Gopher.
Bussies.
Gopher.
What is the strangest purchase you've ever pulled out of a Buc-ee's? What's the thing that you walked out of?
There's been so many.
Have you ever bought? Do you have any clothing that you've purchased from a Buc-ee's?
For my kids.
Shirt.
I got a bunch of hats over the years, shirts.
Got
my
clothes
daughter
for
a
my
bunch of-
daughters.
Yeah, daughters. My daughter just got some stuff. Probably the aforementioned scorpion keychain.
That
is
would
the
be
one
worth it.
Most bizarre thing.
They
I've ever
have
picked up.
a crawfish boiler machine in the front. That looks pretty damn awesome.
It's Buc-ee's. It's
Ice
beautiful.
is cheap.
It's
Gas is
magnificent.
cheap. The lawn chairs.
Yeah.
Everything.
Okay, I gotta go hit Buc-ee's now.
Man,
All
let's go
right.
cruise.
See you in a little bit, brother.
A little bit. Weren't we supposed to get a Buc-ee's out I-10 close to
And
Bernie?
Bernie, I think they're still doing that.
Okay,
I would hope.
I had been told that was imminent.
I had sources that said the same.
Let's talk some Spurs. Let's
Let's
get
do it.
into your shoot around as the Spurs take on the Nueva York Knicks tonight.
R&R gets you ready for tonight's game. The shoot around.
Last night, the Spurs trailed by as many as 16 points in the third quarter, and they mount a comeback, though do fall short. They lose to the Phoenix Suns. Tonight, the New York Knicks arrive. Knicks travel to San Antonio on the heels of a 113-99 home loss to the Denver Nuggets. New York has dropped 3 straight and 4 of its last 5 and fall to under 500 for the first time this season. They are led by Texan Julius Randle, who's out of Dallas. Last night he averages 24 and 8.
Well, the Spurs, this is one of those games that with the way they played the last 6-7 games that you feel like, this is a winnable game. Yes, they have Julius Randle, they have RJ Barrett, but the Spurs as of late, Derek White's come to the party. DeJounte's been at the party. A lot of people feel like he's an all-star. Lonnie Walker versus Golden State was phenomenal. And the guys off the bench have played well as well. Thaddeus Young, even though he did his little podcast and expressed his displeasures, he's remained professional. So, and Pop knows Thibodeau. So just, knowing the Spurs, this is a very winnable game for them now.
Very, very winnable because the Knicks deal with the same problem that the Spurs have. They can't shoot. They're not a very good shooting team. They rest on defense and the turnovers that it provides. So as we see the starting lineup for the Spurs, as we want to know ourselves, we do expect to see Derek, DeJounte, and Dougie doing a little bit of Dougie tonight. And Keldon Johnson and Jakob Poeltl are typical starters. Devin Vassell continues to be on the
I thought he was going to be. Was he still questionable last night?
He was questionable, and then he was downgraded to out.
Okay,
so we're not sure if we will see him tonight, though.
Can we go get some Primo tonight? More Primo? I mean, there's a back-to-back. I don't see why not. I don't know if he'll play, but I'm just saying I don't see why not.
Karl brought up a very important point with Primo because you have to understand the process that goes on with the Austin Spurs and when they're available to play and when they can play. So the Austin Spurs are not going to be home again till when, Karl? So you expect to see Josh hang around with the Spurs for a bit?
I would assume so. There are regional games. I don't know the schedule by heart. I think they're in Lakeland right now, Florida, which is kind of far away. And then they play the Legends in Frisco. And then they're in Vegas for the Showcase Cup. So the Austin Spurs don't return to Austin until December 28th.
So the idea that Primo might be going back and forth, not for the next month, it looks like. He'll probably be.
And the Vassell is out.
As much as Vassell is out. And we got quality minutes from Josh last night. So
I think that Vegas showcase, whether it's just the 2 games or if the Austin Spurs without Josh Primo are able to make their way into the top 8, which I don't think it's likely at the moment, but it might be possible. It's still worthwhile to send Primo out there if it's not interfering with the San Antonio Spurs game and, the roster is healthy and it allows him to go out there. But other than that, I think after the Showcase Cup, December 28th, it would make sense for Primo to be back here because he's shown really good improvement in his short time in Austin.
I think the process is going to be followed. The only change will dictate that process, that plan that we've seen with every other rookie that's come through over the last 20 years will be protocols, will be injuries. And I think he's benefited from that. We got to see some minutes that were productive last night against Phoenix. Know your enemy. Let's figure out what the Knicks are going to be bringing to us today. Know
your enemy.
The process is still in play with the Knicks, and we have seen a shuffling of their starters over the last week or so. But here's who we'll see tonight. Alec Burks will be running point. Evan Fournier will be their shooting guard. R.J. Barrett does a little bit of everything. They list him as the small forward, but he's their point guard. Julius Randle is their scorer, and Mitchell Robinson is an effective, if not well-known, post out of Western Kentucky.
I liked Mitchell Robinson. I want to see how the injury set them back, but he was having that Christian Wood-like effect for the Knicks. I'll be interested to see what the Spurs do with Julius Randle. Will it be a situation where it's like, hey, you know what, Keldon, Jakob, y'all flip back and forth with him. If he goes for 40, we don't care. We're just not, you know what I mean? Not one of those things where it's like we're not gonna overcommit to Julius Randle. Burks, it's weird that I wonder what Thibodeau was sitting over there and watching from the sideline that made him say, you know what, I'm not only going to take Kemba out of the starting lineup, but just out of my rotation all in general. I don't know if he's – because Tibbs doesn't come off to me as a guy that's going to roll with the analytics.
No.
So I wonder what his eye test told him that said, I need to do away with Kemba as a whole.
I think it was what Kemba is. He's a ball-dominant point guard. What he is.
And he just didn't want that.
I think when you see who he's been replaced with.
I mean, because he had that in Derrick Rose when Derrick was in Chicago in his prime.
But the way he uses Derrick Rose now is like the best way I can describe is Patty Mills. He's there, change of pace.
And he stays and he finishes games.
And he comes in to close games out. And if he's cold, he gets sat back down. But the replacement with Alec Burks shows me that what they want to see is scoring coming from other positions other than the point guard. And the change of pace that Kemba or Derrick Rose or whoever comes off the bench is what they're chasing. But their focal point is Julius Randle.
Oh gosh, it's not even close. It's not even close.
And dollar for dollar, one of the more effective players in the NBA. He'll never get the credit he's due because, quite frankly, he does miss some things. He's left-handed dominant, so you can defend him out of a game, as we saw what Atlanta did to him last year in the playoffs. But the Knicks, they play a style that's going to be difficult for us because they're big down low and they're mobile down low. RJ got a lot of stuff. They're a left-handed dominant team. Both Barrett and Julius are lefties, so that throws you off a little bit when you see them. The Knicks are favored by 2.5, though. I think there's some play there.
You'd put money on that?
I like the Spurs at home, and they're basically telling us it's a 3-point shot almost to pick them. And if you're going to go pick them with the Spurs playing the way that they are and looking at what the Knicks have done as they slide away and the Spurs have kind of picked things up, I like that 2.5.
Yeah, and again, Kemba, I'm tipping my cap to him. When you're the prize, not free agent because it was a trade, but when you're the prize free agent / trade piece, they're paying you all that money. And they just take you all the way out of rotation. And the last night he said, look, I'm all about the team. Maybe I can be a role model to some kid watching me. And I was shocked by that. I don't know if he's taking the high road. Deep down, he wants to fight Tibbs, but he's been a professional about it. So I tip my cap because a lot of guys have been like, yo, then y'all need to get me the hell out of here, especially, at Kemba's age. Kemba's not, a spring chicken. So the Knicks, it should be a good game, but this is a game the Spurs can win.
Inside the training room, let's see how we're feeling today.
Inside the training room.
I hurt myself today.
I laugh at that every time.
Devin Vassell continues to battle a quadricep injury. We'll see if he will be available.
A what?
Quadricep.
It scares me.
Yeah.
Scares me. He's not going to end up in New York hiding from the Spurs brass, is he, Karl?
That's not tendinopathy, I don't think, or whatever the terrible term that they use for that. Zach Collins continues to be out, but as far as and Al-Farouq Amino continues to be a bit banged up.
He's with the Knicks.
Al-Farouq Amino hasn't been on the team since training camp.
I'm naming what's his name, the other backup.
Zach Collins.
Zach.
Oh, the other one. My computer has frozen up. It'll be up in just
K to beat
there. Keita Bates. 3 names. I was 3 names, just the wrong 3 names. But Keita continues to be a little bit banged up, and it's funny because I do think he is the primary glue guy on this team.
Really?
I think when he's in the lineup, no matter who he's with, that lineup looks good.
Is our guy Samanic? Has he cracked the Knicks? Has he left the G League?
No, but he's playing really well for the Westchester Knicks.
He is imminent for a Series A European team before we know it.
Any other injuries we miss? Any Knicks injuries we missing? No, that's it.
Nothing of any significance as they come in tonight. It's more about who they're going to play and how they're going to play tonight as they face the Knicks tonight. 2.5-point underdogs. The Spurs go against the Knicks tonight. I do expect a victory tonight. This is the kind of team. They're evenly matched. They play the same style of basketball. And defensively, I think we've got a little bit more and a little bit of a home court, a little bit of pepper for being at home. So let's see if they can get 4 out of 5.
That would be cool.
That would be nice for the Spurs.
Keep your eyes on Evan Fournier, too. I love his game.
He always felt like a Spur, didn't he?
I love his game.
When we come back, we'll put a bow on the show. Look forward to halftime and the Blitz. A lot happening. We'll get you all caught up before we head into the day. You're on R&R in the morning, and this is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Before we go to break, I want to tell you about Arosty. If you're dealing with pain, you got a muscle or a skeletal injury that just won't let you go, I want you to call my friends at Arosty. It's so easy to live your life day to day with something that is painful. We get used to it. We dull it with over-the-counter medications. We try a little bit of ice or heat just to make it through, and hopefully, eventually, it'll go away. Why? Don't live like that. You can get out of pain in a remarkably short amount of time when you go visit an Arosty provider. See, Arosty is a certification that is earned. It is the next step for many of the medical care professionals as they get into the healing pain. So you don't just become an Arosty provider. You have to have already been a chiropractor, a physical therapist, a doctor, a DO, and then you achieve that Arosty certification, which, by the way, is attained only here in San Antonio. They are experts at getting you out of pain. Give them a try. I finally did several years ago, and I will always go back. They get me out of pain. They get me out of pain for my lower back quicker than my entire life I've ever had it fixed that way. So if you're dealing with lower back issues, if you've got a frozen shoulder, those strains and sprains that just keep us out, call an Arosty provider. They can get you fixed remarkably quick. In fact, they did a study a couple years back. They asked all their patients, how quickly was it before you got back into your game? On average, 3.2 visits. Consider that, especially your lower back injury types. If you've got tight hamstrings, you got plantar fasciitis or tension headaches, that can all be fixed by the Arosty providers all around San Antonio. Too many of them to name. You want to see a map, go to Arosty.com. I'm sure you'll find one less than 10 minutes from where you are now. I recommend making the call. It's easy, and you do the talking, they'll do the setting up. It's 1-800-404-6050. Again, 1-800-404-6050. Let me tell you, just about anyone can benefit, young or old. All aches, all pains can be fixed. Arosty.com is a great source of information, tips, and tricks to keep yourself healthy. But the key is get yourself in and see the healing potential your body offers. That's Arosty. Call Arosty today. They'll get you out of pain, and before you know it, you're going to be thanking me later.
Cowboys, Washington, flinging the pigskin like it's nothing. Get the call live Sunday at noon. Sponsored by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Texas Cheer Liquor, your one-stop shop for beer, wine, liquor, and cigars, has 4 locations, 2 on Petrenko, 1 across from Walmart, and 1 past on Petrenko, also past 211. 3rd at Highway 90 Montgomery, and the 4th is at the Palo Alto exit in the Patron Plaza Shopping Center right next to Walmart. The Blitz will be out there next Thursday at Texas Cheer Liquor number 1. That's the one on Petrenko past 211, and they got some Spurs tickets to give away, tastings, and some other things. So it behooves you to make plans now to get out there and try and win yourself some Spurs tickets. The great people at Texas Cheer Liquor going to be giving those away for you. TexasCheerLiquor.com. If you want to look at the website before you go out there next Thursday, see what they have. See if you want to put your order in ahead of time. They do curbside. They do delivery. They have the app. They have cigars. The humidor is kept at a proper temperature so your cigar isn't all cracked up and hard and crusty. So there's plenty of reasons to get out to Texas Cheer Liquor number 1. I'm on Petrenko past 211. That's next Thursday on the Blitz, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. So get out there. Texas Cheer Liquor, like I said, download the app if you're an app person. Go to the website. All different ways. Oh, they also have the kegs. Don't forget about the kegs. You know, young lady over here has gotten 2 of them for 2 big boxing matches and been very pleased. So if you need a keg, make sure you call Texas Cheer Liquor first. They got some good prices, and they deliver those too, and they'll pick it up. So go check them out. That's TexasCheerLiquor.com.
My name is Sue. I'm 58 and I work with kindergartners. I've been overweight all my life. Over the years, my weight led to high cholesterol, joint pain, and body aches. Getting up and down with kids was hard. I couldn't sit on the floor without finding something to help me up. Once I got up, hip pain would prevent me from walking normally. I had heard the Institute for Functional Health commercials for a long time and thought, maybe this will help me. I called and met with Dr. Torres and immediately liked him. He was very personable. I can't explain it, but something finally clicked inside me. After being on his program, I lost 45 pounds, and for the first time in my life, I feel comfortable and am proud of myself. My husband and I have been married 25 years, and I'm now thinner than the day we met. My blood work is optimal, I'm active, better at my job, and I feel in control of my health. This has truly changed my life.
Call for your complimentary consultation, 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
Jason Minix here for Alamo Water Softeners. Go to alamowatersofteners.com. Schedule one of their whole home specialists to come out to your house for a free water analysis. And right now, Alamo Water Softeners is offering 0% financing for 2 years with approved credit. Take advantage of this same as cash offer on a water treatment bundle with special pricing to give your home the highest quality water treatment available. Discover the Alamo Water Softeners difference at alamowatersofteners.com.
Get your college game on. Get ready for the fight songs. It's college football.
Touchdown! What a catch!
Hear it live on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
This is Jason Minix from The Blitz. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
This is R&R in the morning here on San Antonio Sports Star. Rudy J and Rob with you.
Yep. Flew by again. Another world-class show. When it flies by this fast, you're doing a great job. What's up, Karl?
I'm getting more used to the show being like 3 hours and all of a sudden it's like, oh, hey, we're done.
Yeah.
It's not like as long as it was back when we were waking up early and not used to it. So maybe we're getting used to waking up early.
Yeah, that too.
I'm getting used to it.
But
I'm not liking it.
I ain't used to it. I ain't used to it, but I'm used to it.
We're never going to like it.
No, I don't think we'll ever. And
once I hit 8:30, it's all downhill from there.
And the good news is, heading up to New York this week. Oh, wait, y'all aren't going. And I get to sleep in a little bit, because it's 8 o'clock. Start there.
Yeah, well, not a big deal.
You know.
I mean, I love New York,
Not that
but it's going to be cold. Enjoy that,
He
Texas.
said it's going to be cold. It's going to be raining.
A couple years back, I get the last time, not the big freeze, but remember when it snowed? What was that? 4 years ago?
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, that was like 4 years ago.
We had Minix and I had flown out to. We were in Philadelphia for Army Navy. And we were doing our show in Philadelphia in what was the cold Northeast, doing the show back to San Antonio on the day that it started snowing.
So, of course,
we had left. I couldn't believe
that it was snowing
in San Antonio, and I was sitting in Philadelphia. But then we got snow the next day, so I got a little taste of it. I don't think we're going to get any snow this week.
I hope not.
What do you care?
After the
freeze,
do you
care?
care?
You're not going to.
That's true.
What do you care?
Hey, man, great show.
Yeah, well, we're not done yet. We're stretching till the end, man. We're leaning toward the tape. I was curious last night. I was watching the game. Are you still watching the Mannings?
I missed them last night. I did see Joe Buck destroy Peyton. He destroyed Peyton. Peyton asked Joe, "Hey, what do you do? Do you wish you had a guest like what we're doing when it's a blowout?" And Joe said, the last time I thought about that was when you were in the Super Bowl against Seattle.
Oh,
I was like, yo, Joe, I know they're the Mannings and you can kid around with them, but that's a little low.
Joe Buck is not only ruthless, he's actually higher up in the media hierarchy than the Mannings.
I wouldn't argue that.
The hell yes, he is. Absolutely.
So he can get away with things like that.
But but on the Greater Manning thing, I haven't checked the ratings.
You haven't watched lately?
But, and I haven't checked the ratings either. But every time I go to try to watch, I really care more about the football game.
Really?
I do.
Even last night with that?
Even with that, because it was a huge football game. The only time that I've really enjoyed the Manning cast is when it's a bad game between two teams that, quite frankly, I don't care about the outcome. And last night I cared. That was an AFC matchup that I did see was a fork in the road for both the teams. Either you were going to lose and we'll know who you are, or be out of it in the case of Buffalo, or you're going to win in the case of New England and prove me wrong. So I really wanted to see what was going on. And I wasn't getting that. And when I flipped over to the Manning cast, and I was all for this. And I still think that there's a place in the broadcast world for what they're doing.
Yeah, it's for the guy that I can watch my fantasy, but I can also be entertained.
Yeah, and I have yet to find a consistent need for what the Mannings are doing.
So you're not
like
down?
that it exists, but when I sit there to watch it, I'm trying to get more game, and I get just enough to get interested in the game, so I end up turning to the game while they're interviewing Joe Buck.
It's good to have. It's a good option to have.
When it first began, I'm not sure if it was Greeny or it was one of the national pundits that said, we're going to look back and wonder why we weren't broadcasting our games like this in the future.
I don't think
this thing is never going to go away. And it's kind of an outgrowth of the TNT.
Yeah.
It's kind of, we want more of those that have been there and done that, but be funny and do it. But the reason that the TNT works is it's not during a game, it's post-game.
And pre and mid, yeah.
And, that stuff that goes on during the snap, in the quarter, during the game, I need more of the game and less of that.
I know what you mean.
So I think that we found a place, but it's not as successful, and I think they thought it was going to be a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, but if you're pulling 800,000 to $1 million, I think that's a pretty dang good number.
It's working for those, and I'm trying to figure out who those are. Who are the ones that are watching? Just those that are football fans but literally have zero care interest? Or is it?
I think that's who it is. I think it's a guy that really doesn't care except for his fantasy, and he can keep his eye on his fantasy and not have to listen to Brian Greasy.
Brian Greasy's a little dull.
I like him. I don't love him.
He's a nubbin.
He's better than Witten.
He's a nubbin.
He's a nubbin. What's a nubbin?
He's superfluous. He's extra. It is.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he doesn't hurt anything. But I don't think there's a whole lot of benefit to him sitting there.
Right.
I want to thank you guys for sitting in with us today. We're going to gather together. We're going to look at the film. We're going to work it out. And we're going to do better tomorrow. Thanks for sitting in on R&R in the Morning. Don't forget, halftime begins at noon. Michael Jimenez gets you informed. He'll be with Minix today. Minix live at the Blitz. This has been R&R. Y'all be cool. We'll see you tomorrow.